Good day. Thank you for joining us for our video today. My name is Brian Cockell. Hi, this is my wife, Wanda.
Hello.
And as part of our series, Starting a Home-Based Business or a Small Business, today's video is on how to start a website with Wix and get an online store up and running for yourself. So it's a very comprehensive video, and it's going to teach you from start to finish how to make an online store. Now, it is a little longer in the video, so if you do want to change your settings in YouTube, you can. And you can go ahead and hit the settings button, and then you can increase the speed to 1.25 times or 1.5 times if you want to go through a little quicker, or if I'm talking too slow. So on today's video, it's recommended that you follow along either with the sample template or actually create your own website and online store as we're going. So a comprehensive start to finish, and you'll be up and running and selling your products by the time we're done. So let's get right into it. Okay, I'm at my computer and we're ready to start. So if you've happened upon this video and you haven't chosen an e-commerce store website provider yet, I do have a prior video that will help you make that decision. So it's called Best E-commerce Platforms for Your Small Business. You can find the link for that video down below. You might want to watch that one first if you haven't set your heart on Wix. Today's tutorial is how to start a store with Wix. All right, so that's what our tutorial is about. So go ahead and see that video first if you haven't chosen, because I mean, certainly depending on what kind of store you're starting, if it's a service business, or if you're making a craft, or if you're blogging, you're certainly going to want to choose the right e-com provider. So that video will help you make that choice. So go ahead and watch that. If you have decided on Wix and you're ready to get started, this is a comprehensive tutorial on how to get your store up and running from beginning to end. And by the time we finish today, you'll be able to, if you follow along, have a store up and running literally within an hour. I mean, certainly you can spend some time working on your design elements and tweaking this and that, but it is so easy today to start a website. So we're going to help you do that with Wix. One thing you do want to do before you dig into this too deep is, if you are going to be building a website along with the tutorial, which you can certainly do, and it is always best to have hands-on when you're doing these type of things. So if you want to really learn how to use the Wix editor and to make your website, you will want to touch it and feel it and experiment with it. So I would recommend, if you are making, again, a craft, or it really doesn't matter, and you want to sell your items online, you're going to want to go ahead and get those into your pictures of your products you're going to be selling, your logo for your company, anything that you're going to use as a graphic. You want to go ahead and put those into a single file would be best, that you know where to find that file. And you can certainly put folders within that file by category, but you're going to want to get everything together in one place, and that's going to make it a lot easier for you. So for example, this morning we're going to be looking at making a sample website for a soap company. And I do happen to run a soap company, and it's, here's an example of what my website looks like. This site was created in Wix, to give you an idea. But what I've done is I've gone ahead, and for our sample project today, you'll notice I've put all my pictures of my products, some shampoo bars, some lip balms, some hand creams, some soaps, into a single file here, and put that file on the desktop. And then I've also put my logo in there, and you'll see that these things now are easily and readily accessible to me. A little picture of some of our product lines. So we've gone ahead and done that to get ready, and you'll find your life's a lot easier rather than have to run around your computer and look in all these different places. So if you haven't done that, and you are going to be following along and actually working on creating a site, maybe pause the video and go get everything in one location, and then we'll be ready to start. And if you're ready to go, well, off to the races. So let's dig right in and see how we get this thing kicked off and where we go. Okay. All right. So if you're still with us, you've decided on a Wix website, and that's great. Wix is absolutely spectacular and very simple to make. So let's get right into it. So if you already have an account with Wix, or you've already set yourself up to get started and are simply looking for the tutorial, good. If you haven't, you will find a supplemental advertising link below the video, and it'll take you into the sign up page, or the login page. If you go ahead and click that link, you'll be following right along with me. That is a supplemental advertising link, and if you do click that, which would be appreciated, I do get a small commission on that, and that helps me make these videos and make more content. It doesn't cost you any more, but it would be certainly helpful. So if you haven't gone into Wix yet, click that link below, and that will take you to a page that looks like this one. Now, it could look a little differently. They change this page frequently, and they it depends on what country you're in, and when you're actually going through this process. But it doesn't matter. You're going to see either a Start Now button, like you see here, or it'll be a 14-day free trial button. That's fine as well. But whatever it looks like, you simply want to hit Start Now. Now, when you get to this page, you're going to, if you don't have an account yet, you're going to ignore this section, because you don't have an account to sign into yet. Okay, so what you are going to do is, if you see this little box up here that says login and sign up right here, that's the step that you want to take. So if you hit that sign up button, it's going to take you into this page here. It will always look the same. Well, I shouldn't say that. They could change it, but it's looked the same for a very long time. So you're going to type your email in there, and they're going to ask you to type that in again a second time on the line below. And I'm actually going through and making a new website here for the purpose of this tutorial. So I'm going to do everything that you should be doing, and you can follow us right along. Once you have .com, once you have your email addresses put in here, it's going to ask you to make a password. Now, passwords, you should try to get a couple capitals in there, a letter in there, and a special symbol in there if you can. They're going to ask for all those things, but it's not compulsory. So put a password in. They'll ask you to type that password again. And if it matches, it's going to let you sign up. And you'll notice here, the password I have chosen, they are suggesting that's a strong password. So I do have a couple capitals in there, and I do have a number in there, and of course a bunch of letters. So try to get at least strong. That way, you're not going to have a problem with your account down the road. And then simply hit the sign up button. And once you've done that, you have a Wix account. And how exciting is that? I did just get a brand new internet, so wow, that's really fast. I live in deep in North Ontario, in an unorganized territory in the middle of the bush, and with no services whatsoever. So we were on satellite internet and just got Starlink, and I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So I'm happy with that, so pretty excited. All right, so it's going to, you'll notice this page here is you want to go through this. Now, it'll give you the option, if you look in the bottom right, well, you probably can't see me with me sitting here, but there's a little skip down there. You don't want to skip this, okay? So if you answer these questions, it's going to give Wix more information about what you're trying to accomplish in your website. So it's kind of important. It's going to make life a little easier for you down the road. So actually go ahead and get started, okay? So let's bring your ideas to life, answer some questions to get the best tools for what you're creating. So get started. We are creating an online e-commerce store here. So you want to take the choice right here that says online store for this answer. And of course, if you're only here to learn or to start a blog site, you don't want Wix for that. So go watch that. I have another video. If you haven't chosen Wix, or you want to learn which your best option is, go watch my video on choosing the best e-com site for you. But we are going to go ahead and click an online store because that's what we're creating today, okay? And then it's going to ask you to determine if you want what kind of store you're going to start. So in our case, our example and sample website is going to be a soap company. So we're going to choose an online craft store. But if you're doing clothing or jewelry, woodworking. There's all those different options down there. So we're going to go ahead and click Craft Store for our sample here, and go next. All right, and then boy, that's fast for me. That's so exciting. Okay, so welcome to WIX e-commerce. This is what you're going to do. These are the choices, or really the what's going to be included with what you're going to start, and what your store is going to have included in it. So kind of cool. So you simply hit next through that. That's just an information screen. And then our current sellings. All right, so are you already selling? Are you getting ready to start selling? Or are you just thinking about selling? So in my case, I'm already selling. I'm going to assume you're already selling, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're ready to start selling, you're going to get more choices if you hit I'm already selling. So we're going to go ahead and click that button. How do you sell? Okay, so everybody's going to be different. I do sell on online marketplaces. I'm on Amazon. I do have the website up and running. We did sell on Etsy. We do sell on social media through Facebook. I don't have an online store built somewhere. I don't have a physical store. I don't do drop shipping. I don't really have others. So for me, those are the best choices. Go ahead and select the best choices for you. So if you did have a physical store, you'd also want to select this box down here. If you do drop shipping, of course, you're going to select this box here, and so on and so forth. But for me and my purpose and our purpose today, online marketplaces and social media. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to add, for example, a Facebook link easily to your store, and so your store can point to Facebook, and Facebook can point back to your store, and that's kind of important. Okay, so we'll go ahead and hit next. All right, how many products will you open your online store with? And we're 40 plus, so again, it depends on what you're doing, but 40 plus is what we have. So I'm going to go ahead and hit 40 plus. What do you need to run your online store? So do we need shipping, rates, and labels? We're going to need that. We want it to automate our sales tax, and I sell. Our business is located in Ontario, and we have to charge what's called HST, which is the harmonized sales tax. But if I'm selling in BC, they have GST, which is a goods and services tax. So that helps you kind of set that up a little better. You absolutely want the abandoned cart recovery. Now, I will tell you that I probably pick up about 30% more sales with the abandoned cart recovery. And what that does is if a potential customer comes to your site and they click around and they put some stuff in the shopping cart, but they actually never hit that buy button, and you can set up what the parameters that you want are. But I say, look, send my customer an email in 1 day's time. If they haven't come back and made that purchase, and if they don't come back, then send one in 3 days' time. And what that does is that sends the customer a reminder saying, hey, you've got these great products in your cart over on Longevity Soap Company's website. Why don't you click here and go ahead and finish that sale? And you'll be amazed at how many people actually, oh yeah, I forgot about that, and they actually come back and click that buy button, and it's you'll pick up a lot of extra sales like that. So you absolutely want your abandoned cart recovery. You also want email marketing for sure. So we prompt all through our website and all through our communications, join our site for promotions that we offer now and again. Join it so when we have new product announcements, you'll get that email, and you'll be able to know that we have a new product out and available. So you will build a list of clients over time that become members of your website, and you can then send them all those clients at once an email saying, look, I got a sale on or whatever. That also we get a lot of business that way. So when if we introduce a new soap and we send that out to our client base, we'll get 25% of the folks coming in and saying, oh, I'm going to try that soap, and they'll go ahead and make that purchase. So you absolutely want that. You do want Facebook and Instagram ads, and if you don't use Instagram, no problem. It gives you Facebook, and vice versa. If you don't use either one, just leave that blank. And we don't sell product subscriptions. So product subscriptions are if you're going to come up with a product that you want to go to your customer, every 3 months. We're going to send you a product, sign up for this service. Or if you want to have some kind of newsletter that you sell on a weekly basis, you can go ahead and click that button. I don't personally use that service, but it's a great service if you do or want to. And subscription services are a great way to to get loyal, repeat customers that you simply send them orders every 2, 3, 4 months. Sometimes great for food products and stuff like that. But I don't use it, so I'm going to leave it blank. But if it's something that interests you or you think you will use, even if you don't today, go ahead and click that box as well. And what WIX is doing is it's collecting all this information to begin giving you the template of what your site's going to look like and all the things that are included in that site with the different templates. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click next, and those are the things that interest me. How many people will help manage your online store? So if it's just you, click just you. If it's you and your wife or you and your partner, being another person, which would be another person. Or if it's you and your kids or some employees, go ahead and click 2+ people. In my circumstance, it's only my wife and myself that actually go in and manipulate the website. So I'm going to click me and another person right in the center there. Excuse me. What do you want to add to your website? Now, take some time to think closely about this, because if you miss a box or a selection that you're going to want in your site, you're going to have to go and manually add that later. It's much easier to have it now and either take it out or not use it than not have it at all. Okay, so obviously we're building an online store that's built in. We want chat. So what chat is if you are in your website as the administrator and one of your customers comes in to buy something, a little box will come up in the corner of your screen and the corner of your customer's screen, chat now, and you can actually have a live chat with your customer while they're shopping on or in your store. So, can I help you with your product selection? Do you have any questions? I'm here if you need me, that type of thing. Okay. Forums, you can set up forums, and forums are, and we do set forums up. So I think it's important. And a forum is if a customer has a bunch of questions they want to ask you, but you're not on a live chat, for example, and you don't have an email set up, they can go and fill out one of your forms, and that will get you, information on, who the person is. You can have payment forms, you can have subscriber forms, you can have information forms, help forms. So you want to have forms set up. And forms and forums are very different. Now, forums are if you want to start, to build, a community of back and forth communication. So kind of like a two-way blog rather than a one-way blog. So I don't like forums. I use the blog instead. But if you want to have forums, go ahead and click that. Bookings are, if you're running a bed and breakfast, or a fishing lodge, or a massage parlor, or something that a customer needs to come in and actually book a time on a day. That bookings is what that's for. So if that's the type of business you're running, go ahead and click that button. In my case, I'm selling soap and lip balm and hand cream and shampoo bars and linen sprays, to customers that come to the site. I don't have any need for any bookings, so I don't have that. But if you would like to have it, go ahead and click bookings. Events are good. If you are selling at farmers markets, for example, you might sell to farmers market from early spring to late fall, and you're at different markets on different days of the week, or you've signed yourself up for a special trade show. You want to have events selected, because then you can go ahead and send that information to your customer base, or you can also charge for an event that you might have. I'm going to teach people next Saturday on how to make soap, and you can sign up for that. That class I'm going to run, and it's going to cost you $10 to get into that class. And so you can actually charge a fee for a course that you want to run as an example. That's an example of an event. So if you want to do that kind of stuff, go ahead and click that box. Blogs are the next choice. Blogs are very important this morning, and today, tomorrow, the next day. It's blogs are a way to keep in front of your customers, to educate your customers, and to bring in new customers. So we're all familiar with blogs. Most of the news sites aren't really news sites anymore. They're blogs. But you definitely want to have a blog, and even if blogging isn't your main intent for your website and your e-commerce store, it still gives you a platform, again, to communicate directly with customers, to educate customers, to draw more people to your site, and that's kind of important. So I'd go ahead and select blogs, but again, if you don't have any information, you don't need to have them. Pricing plans, again, that's another option to sell subscriptions to your actual members. That's not something that we do, but you can certainly do it. So, for example, again, if you're going to write, a cookbook, for example, that you're going to, every month you're going to release 10 new recipes. You can create a subscription plan for customers for that, and automatically, they'll pay their $10, every month, and they'll get your new 10 recipes you're sending out, or whatever it is that you're doing. So go ahead and select that if you do have plans to have subscriptions for some of your products. Instagram feed down here is the next area we're going to look at. Now, if you do use Instagram, just simply go ahead and click that, because that's going to tie you directly into Instagram, and you can point back and forth. If you are going to have videos and stream some of your services, you definitely want to have that. And we will have a tutorial on how you make soap, for example, and we'll post that on our website. So if you want to have any kind of videos, be them advertising videos, streaming videos, or just website specific videos, you do want to go ahead and click that. If you are a musician and you're selling your music, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. Go ahead and hit that button there. If you have any online programs, like training programs or that kind of stuff, you can go ahead and hit online programs, which is your next box. So those are the selections that I've made. Certainly an online store, I want chat, I want forums, I want to be able to schedule events, I want to be able to blog, and I want to be able to post videos on my site. So that's what I want to do, and I'm good with that. So I'm going to hit next to make your choices, and go ahead and hit next. Okay, need help setting up your online store, and one of the reasons why we've chosen WIX, if you've been following along on the how to choose your best e-com service provider, is we don't want to have to deal with customer service or helplines or chat lines or any of that kind of stuff. We just want to go in and set our website up. So we're going to say no. And again, if you're really hesitant, you can certainly book a call if you run into trouble, but I don't think you'll need to do that. And even if you do, you can do that any point in time. So we're going to just hit not now for this purpose, and we haven't even really started yet, so we don't have to do that. Have you created a website before? So this is going to be how comprehensive the actual WIX tutorial is. So if you want to have as much information thrown at you as you can, every step of the way, with pop-up boxes popping up, and take the step next and do it this way, go ahead and click "This is my first time." Okay. If you've created a few websites, click that one. If you've created many, you're probably not going to need all that help. Click that one. And of course, if you do it professionally, you don't need any help. So because I'm assuming a lot of you here in this video are probably first-time website creators, go ahead and click "This is my first time." And that's going to give you the most comprehensive tutorial and help boxes online as you do go through the creation process of the website. So once you've answered all those questions, you got two choices now, and this is very important. Okay, so you can let WIX ADI create a website for you, and really that is an artificial intelligence system that actually will create you a template site based on all those questions that we just answered. Now you can certainly hit that, and I have a second tutorial available, and it might be out when I post this one, or it'll be out shortly after, to go through and create an ADI site. And an ADI site you can literally create a website up and running and in business with people and customers buying your products in 20 minutes. However, and if that is what interests you, go ahead and check the links below and change tutorials, okay? And then you can literally be up and running, and I'll show you how to, basically be selling your stuff online in 20 minutes. Now, the negative of that is you have a lot less design capabilities within your actual site. And I kind of want to be able to design my site myself, have full creative control, and it's no more difficult. It just takes a little longer. And when I say a little longer, instead of making a website in 20 minutes, it might take you an hour and a half or 2 hours tops to actually get a good website up and running. However, it's your site that you've designed with all your design elements in it and how you want to look. So you've got your two options. For this tutorial, we're going to go through and choose a template on the right hand side of your screen to go ahead and have all of the creative elements available to us to be able to make our own site without Wix kind of giving us a box canned site. Okay, but again, if you are interested in a real quick down and dirty website, you will find a tutorial down below, or coming very soon. Certainly subscribe to my channel. I mean, obviously that's helpful to me, but also hit that little bell that's below the video here, and that will give you, and then choose all, and that will give you notifications when I do release my videos. And again, it'll be up, and if it's not up yet, it'll be up within a week or two at the most. However, for today's purpose, we are going to choose a template. Now, Wix comes with well over 500 templates, and when you get in here, this is their template picker. What you want to do is you want to you notice here you got all these different services, right? Of types of websites you're gonna make. Because we are making a store and we want our website specific to a store. See that button right there? It says store. You're going to go ahead and click on that, and what that's going to do is that's going to give you all of the stores that are available. Now, what they have done is because of the questions we answered, we're currently in online craft store templates. Okay, I generally do like to click over here on the store, and that gives you more choices. However, for today's purpose, we can certainly find a pretty nice template in the ones that they've offered to us. Okay, so if you notice that there's going to be different categories of stores, right? So for example, this is toy stores here, arts and crafts stores here, stationery stores here. If you're making ceramics, a ceramic store there. If you're doing art, there's an art store there. And you can go, way down here and find all these different types of online stores. So if you're making jewelry, okay, so here's an example of the jewelry store template, all right? A wellness store template, and there's just, more than you can count. So what you want to do is you do want to take some time to go through and look at these templates to see, how they feel, and, picture your products in them. And you'll see here there's over 57 pages of store templates, right? And this is kind of an important step because, I'm sure you have in your mind kind of what you want your templates and your store to look like, what feel you want to have for your store. So you're going to have a very different looking website, if you're doing arts and crafts and, and paintings and sculptures, than if you're selling dog food treats, for example, right? So you want to go through and spend some time to go through these templates. So I would actually recommend you pause the video now and go through and do that. And how you do that, you simply pick on pick a topic that you think be nice for your store, and you said you can go through these page by page, and there's this template after template after template. And pick one that you think you like and would like to try. And if you're doing making clothing, for example, there's one specific for clothing. You simply view it, okay? And this isn't selecting it. It's just going to show us. You can hit down here, full demo, And it's going to show you what a website, will kind of look like if you choose, the clothing store template. Don't hit edit yet, because that's going to take you into that template to actually start creating your site, okay? So we'll go view the clothing store. We'll look at the full demo. And, here's an example of what we don't want to edit this site yet. Here's an example of, what that website's going to look like. So you've got, you can shop. Gives you all your collections that you're selling. It's nice and clean. You've got an about, about your store. You got a journal. You got contacts. That's what they've added into this one here. So that's a good way to you can kind of click through all those and see what it looks like. Nice clean store. But there's certainly one I wouldn't pick. But if that's what you want, that's what you pick. And then you simply go back. Close that off, take you back to your template selections. So go ahead and spend some time looking at the templates and choose one that you would like. And if you are just simply here to learn how to make a store, we'll go through and choose my template that I like, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so. Give you a second to go pick a template and take some time to pick the best one for you. Okay, see you in a second. Okay, hopefully you've chosen a template, and if you haven't and are just going to follow along with the one I'm using, I have chosen the one that's called Natural Cosmetics, which of course is this one right here. And if you look at my actual website, which I'll have posted and will post a few times, you'll see this is the actual one I used. However, I did make some changes to it. So if you're following along, either click on your chosen template or click on Natural Cosmetics Shop. And just to find that easily, that is on page 5, right kind of in the middle of the templates. And now this time you're going to actually click on Edit, and then that's going to take you in to a site that WIX actually creates for you, and it takes just a few seconds for them to do that. And then that brings you up with your site. So you literally have a website here. And then what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you all of the real estate on the screen, or basically everything that you can manipulate, change, and how you add stuff in, take stuff away, and then we'll go from there. So if you notice that I'll start in the top left here. So, and I'll try and put my little boxes up so you can see where I'm working at and what I'm talking about. So if you look at up top here, okay, in this menu bar, you've got 6 buttons you can click. One is Site, one is Settings, one is Dev Mode, Hire Partner, Help, and Upgrade. The only 2 that we're really interested in for this purpose is Site and Settings. Okay, so when you look at Site, you can take actions with your site. So you can save your site, preview your site as you work, get feedback, which means you're going to end up talking to somebody from WIX, which really you don't want to do. Then you publish your site. So we're working offline right now. To put your finished site online, you're going to publish the site. Okay. View site will take you into actually being able to view where you're at and what you've accomplished, which someone would actually see on the website. Just a couple pieces of advice. Your site is going to be mainly seen on mobile phones, tablets. It actually is more popular now than computers. So we're going to talk about having your site ready for both computers and on mobile. But when you're viewing your site, you're going to want to look at it on mobile and on desktop, but you're also going to want to look at it with different browsers if you can. So each browser renders information a little differently. You want to make sure your site works right across all browsers. So for me, I have Firefox, Opera, Chrome, Edge, all as browsers, and then I can view my site in each of the different browsers to see what it looks like. Okay. View site on mobile, which we just talked about, so that's viewed on desktop. This is viewed on mobile. Site history is basically all the changes you've made and through time. You could duplicate the site if you want to, and I I'm not sure why you'd ever want to do that. I never have needed to, but you can certainly duplicate it. You can transfer your site, and then of course that's giving it to transferring it to a different owner, right? And then of course you can exit the editor, which we're in right now. So there's two main screens that you'll see. You'll see your website creation screen or screens, which we're in. Then once your site's actually made, you'll have a dashboard that you go into, and that's where you manage your site from. So you'll find all these settings under Site, okay? And then I just want to show you on the right-hand side here on the top of your screen, you've got the quick buttons for 3 of those functions, okay? So Save, Preview, and Publish, right? And that's just, just a little quicker than going into the menu bar. You do want to save your site frequently, although the default is for the site to save itself as you're working along. And of course you can change that when you want, all right? So when you go into settings here, settings are to basically set your site up. So you can connect to your domain. So if you don't purchase one of the plans that comes with your own domain, which I strongly recommend you do, you'll get a site that says, my site at WIX at a bunch of numbers, .com. If you connect your own domain, that means that you can, if you're, in my case, my company is called Lifegevity Soap Company Inc. So I can get an actual website that says, www.lifegevitysoaps.ca, and that would be my own domain. So if you select one of their, upper to mid-range plans, it actually comes with a free domain for a year, and that's a domain of your choosing, as long as it's available. We'll show you how to do that near the end of the video. And you want to have your own domain for sure. You can get a mailbox. So WIX does not come with a mailbox. So if I wanted, Brian at lifegevitysoaps.ca, they don't give you that option in WIX. You'd have to actually purchase a mailbox, and that's purchased through Gmail. So you make that purchase, and then that's actually attached to your site. You can upgrade your site here to different plan levels. Get found on Google, and this is where you do your SEO work, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. And Google runs through, or any of the search engines, be it Bing, it doesn't matter which one, through a bunch of analytics to actually find your site when people are asking for, if they're asking for, natural soap, for example. You have to have those settings set up within your pages and optimized for Google. I'm going to show you how to do that as we go through, but that's where you get that from. And you've got Favicon, which is where you can add your own brand, your own logo, that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. Business info is where we're going to set up our business info, name, address, text numbers if you want. Social shares, how you get hooked up onto Facebook or Instagram or any of the social media platforms. Marketing integrations, and this is where you can add add-ons, which we'll talk about a little later. You can add Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, better search possibilities within your site. Roles and permissions, and that's basically if you set up your site where you're going to have more than yourself, you need to give roles and permissions to the other people, and you can limit those as to what they can actually do. Some can be view only, some can be view and change, some can be deal with customers. So roles and permissions, which we'll look at. Accessibility wizard is to set your site up for those with disabilities, be it hearing impaired or sight impaired, that type of thing. Mobile friendly, this is kind of turns your site into exactly what it says, more mobile friendly, but this is in addition to having a phone or tablet setting. It's kind of a more of a background change to your site. Image and sharpening, you can go and basically clean up your graphics. Privacy and cookies, how you set your cookies on your site, and how cookies are put onto other people's computers. Multilingual, so you can add languages, so your visitors can browse in French or Spanish or that type of thing. And create a custom error page, and if your site is down, you can actually design what that page looks like when they try to get into your site. Now, being a Wix customer myself, I've never experienced a downtime. It doesn't mean they don't happen. I'm just not aware of them, and certainly never for a long period of time. And I told you, you also had a dashboard, which is where you manage your site, and all of these, or most of these, are available on your actual dashboard, and that's how you get to your dashboard down there. So on the second menu item up here called Settings, really that's dealing with all of the back office issues of your website. Okay. However, we're not going to go there yet because we're going to actually design a site first, and then we're going to do things like set it up for the SEO, Google search engine optimization and stuff like that. Okay, so that's what you have on your search bar up above. And again, dev mode is when you want to actually get into coding certain elements of your site, and that's beyond this tutorial. We're assuming we just want to get up and running, with real easy to use tools. Hire a partner, of course. You can get somebody to help you along the way. Really not necessary. You've got help, which is an actual help center, and read about different areas that you're having challenges with. So, for example, you want help connecting a domain, you can click here, and it'll tell you all about how to connect a domain. And then upgrade, once you're finished, and you do want to go ahead and get your own domain and a package that includes everything you need with enough memory and all the things you want to run your store successfully. We'll go ahead and hit that upgrade button, but we're not there yet. All right. So that's the top menu bar, and then if you look down onto the left-hand side here, a couple of things, and then you've got this section here, which gives you design element tools. Okay, so when you're designing your site, you're going to get your tools from these buttons over here, and we're going to go through each one of those ones. All right, so we're going to take a quick look at, and then I'll just show you some other things quickly. So here, these two buttons here is where you can view your site on desktop, which we're viewing right now, or on mobile. Okay, and of course, this icon is for the desktop, this icon is for the mobile. So if I click on mobile, it's going to change this, and that's what your current site is going to look like on mobile. Okay. Now you can manipulate everything within the mobile site, which is really just the site that you're creating on mobile. All right. So you can click between the two there. I always design in desktop just because you get a much larger real estate to work with, and it's just easier. Things are bigger, and it's nicer to work with. If you want to get into all of the different pages that are on your site, now you're going to add pages or take pages away depending on what you're doing. This little button here, which is just really a down arrow, this is going to show you your different pages within your site. So when you click on that arrow right now, so we've got a home page, which we're on, a hair and skin page, a fragrance page, about page, a contact page. Okay, and then you've got store pages, a product page, hair and skin, fragrance, a cart, that's your shopping cart, a thank you page, and then you've got your members pages. So all these pages currently exist within your site. So if I wanted to go to my hair and skin page, I'd simply click on hair and skin page, and there it is there. Okay, and then these are the products that the dummy products that they've put in this site for here. Okay, so that's how you access all of your different pages, your fragrance pages, and there's the fragrances this person would be selling, and then about page. There's an about page about the brand. Okay, and we're going to go through and work on all these and make them all fancy. And then a contacts page, and we talked about having forms selected when we started. This is a form, for example, so they've made one for you, and if somebody wants to contact you, they'll put in their name, their email, their phone number, and they'll type a message here and submit it to you, and then that'll come to you at the email that you set up, or you can set up, have it send to an email outside of Wix. I like to have my stuff inside of Wix and all together, so I do have the Gmail account set up for 3 emails. And then you've got your store pages, right? So here's your product page. And this is what it'll look like when somebody puts something in their cart, right? So they're getting ready to add to cart. They're looking at a single product here. So they would have selected that from the product page. And you want to buy that, you're going to go add to cart if you want to keep shopping, or simply buy now and away you go. So all that functionality is in there, which is pretty cool. Here's your hair and skin pages. I could add this one to cart. I'm not going to do it because it'll actually add it to the cart. This is a functioning site. And then you've got your cart page. So once they've populated the cart, everything would show up in here. And we'll actually go and do some populations once we put our products in there and populate some of the products into our cart. Here's a thank you page. You'll be able to design this completely. So thank you for your order, buyer name, which it'll put in there, because they'll, in order to buy something, we'll actually have to have their name, and their address in there and their credit card information. So it'll give them the order number, total amount for the order, items that they used, they bought, they can continue shopping or go and check out. And then you've got your members page, and the members will be able to, so those people that sign up to your site will be able to look at their orders, their wish list, their wallet, their account information, change their address, update their address, and that kind of stuff. So, for those few steps we've taken to get to this point has really given us a fully functioning site, right? And if you wanted to actually go in and preview the site, go under site, go under preview, and this would be the actual site on the internet. Okay, so there you go, all the basic information that they've pre-populated. You've got your menu bar up here, which will take you to the home screen, which we're on. Hair and skin products, fragrance products, the about page, the contact page, and the account page. Okay, and that would be populated with their name if they'd actually signed up for your site, and then the cart, and that right now will show the cart being empty over off to the side there. So all pretty cool. So already you have a fully functioning site, and you can look at what that looks like on mobile by clicking that mobile button, which I just did up in the top left here. Okay, and then same thing, this is your mobile site, and you can scroll through that just like you would any mobile site, or hit your menu bar, which is up here on this one. You can go to the hair and skin page, and you can test all that stuff out. And when you're in the design mode, you can, if you don't like how something looks or has been translated to the mobile site, you can adjust and edit all that stuff as well. Okay, so when you're finished previewing a site, you simply go back to your editor. That's in the top right corner here. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to go back to editor, and although we have right now a fully functioning site and could technically publish this site, we don't want to be selling stuff that doesn't really exist or is not ours. All right, so the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to go through, and before we go through all the settings and setting the final site up with all of the information that we want, we're going to go through and actually make this site our own. Right, so I'm going to go and I'm going to put my logo in, populate it with my products, put some of my catchphrases in and sayings, and make it my own. And then once I've made the design my own with all of my information in there, and if you're following along in your template, you can anything I do, independent on what template you're using, yours will look all the same. So your menu bar is going to be the same, your manipulation bars down the left hand side for your editor is going to be the same, everything's going to be the same. All you'll do is go ahead and put in your logo, your company name, your information, your products, and you can actually build your site right along with me here as we work. If you are working with us in this site, just to kind of learn how to do it, you're not going to have the graphics that I have, and obviously my logo and stuff, but you can pick and you can even go now if you want to do that, just go find some graphics somewhere and find some pictures somewhere and put them in a file. And then you can work along as well and make a mock site just for fun. But it is best to be in here playing with it, using it, looking at the menus, moving stuff around. That's how you're really going to learn it, right? So next step is let's go and edit this site to be our own. All right, so we're going to do that next. Okay, so before we start actually designing our site and making some changes, there's a few things you're going to want to know about the design elements and how they work. So the first thing I'm going to show you is if you look up here on the top right, there are back and forward buttons. So if you make a mistake or don't like something you've done, you just undo it, or you can go forward again. The other thing that's important is you see this little box here called Tools. This here is going to give you some basic tools that to help you work around your site. So grid lines, it can put it on or off. Grid lines are good because what it does is it shows you what the area is that you should actually be working in. So if you see these two lines on the side here, there's one here, all right, and it goes all the way down, and there's one here that goes all the way down. You don't want to work outside of those lines, and the reason being is that there's different types of monitors that people use. Some use, really wide monitors, some standard monitors, some, bigger or smaller. And if you design outside of those two lines, you might find that your website doesn't always work properly on some of the really wider monitors. So it's good to keep the grid lines on so you know what you're working within. Snap to objects is a good option to have on. So basically when you're moving stuff around or adjacent to an object, you can snap right to that object, and you can turn that on or off as you want, but it helps you to get a little more design control to get stuff centered and even and that kind of stuff. So it's a good option. You can put a ruler on, and you'll notice that ruler now has come to the top of the screen. I don't personally use a ruler because it doesn't mean much to me, but if you want to use a ruler, you can certainly use that when you're working on your design. Layers is basically going to, everything that's on your site is on a layer. So for example, this is your background with the flower in the back, and then this box here is a container box that sits on top of the flower. So you have different layers, and this would be in the top layer, and then you can move layers, items that you're designing up or back on layers, and I could put this behind the flower if I wanted to, for example. So that when you look at your tools up here, you can have layers on or off, and when they're on, it allows you to show you what's on your site, and you can set what the layer should be. I personally leave them off, because generally I'll design from back to front, meaning I'll put my background image in, and then I'll overlay images over top of that. And I generally don't overlay images on top of images. That gets a little complicated and confusing and doesn't always render properly in the different browsers. So I usually leave that off. And then you can put your toolbar up, and I'll show you what that looks like. And your toolbar is basically going to give you, quick actions. So you can cut, paste, copy, center, actually make the width and height of an item, the position on the screen, and your X or Y coordinates. So it's good to, I don't like to work with it on the screen, but you can certainly pop it up as needed, especially if you're working on a specific item that you're really trying to design without having to go into right click and go into the item itself and all this kind of stuff. So the toolbar is available. I design with it off, but you can certainly turn it on or off and design with it as you want to. Okay, so those are kind of editing, design element tools up there on the left. All right, so now I'm going to go through each of these, and I did tell you before that all these icons on the left-hand side of your screen over here. This is where the meat and potatoes are of actually designing your screen. So I'm going to quickly run through each of these just to show you how powerful they are and what you can do with them. And you will have an idea in your mind what your site should look like, what you want to look like. And these are basically all the tools you can use to get it there. All right. So we'll walk through them closely. So if you look at the very first one with the little plus key, this is where you're going to add things to your site, okay? So when I click plus and then add, I can add all of these items are items that you can add into your site, okay? So a strip, strips basically go, it's just what it sounds like. It's a strip that can, go across the top or the middle or the bottom of your website. And then there's all different types of strips. You can go with classic strips, about strips, and of course, if you add a strip in, and we'll just do one for fun. So if I want to add the strip in, I just left click and hold it, drag it over, and drop it. And there's a strip. Okay, now once that strip's in there, I can change the size of it. So there's a handle on top of it that I can move it up or down. Okay, and change the how big that strip is. Okay, I can move it in or out from the sides here. Okay, so you got that option, and then you can when you click on the strip, you can go manage columns. So I just left clicked within the strip, okay, and then you can decide on moving this column left or this column right. You can change your column background, any kind of background that you want in it. Background scroll effects, so it can fade in, fade out, have none. Your actual layout, it can be centered, left, right. Okay, so that's just an example of one tool that you can add to your site. I'll just backspace out of here to get out of this strip. So you can add strips, and when you look at strips, you can have service strips, contact strips, welcome strips, testimonial strips, team strips, any kind of strip you want. So it's simply an element that you can add to your site. The next one is text. So when you click on the text, your site that Wix has created for you is a themed site, which means basically they've added the text types in into your themes and create a theme for the site. You can change any of that stuff, right? So you can have theme text is what's in your site now. You can have different titles, and you can have paragraph text, okay? And you can pick what design you want on all different kinds of text. And the same thing, you left click and hold it, drag it over, and there's a text box. I will tell you, see that little pink line showing up in the center? That means it's in the center of your site. So if I let go of that there, that would be in the center of the site, okay? Big title, I can edit the text. And then when you are in editing, it comes up with an editing box. You can change the header size, you can change the font, you can change the font size here by yourself. You can underline it, italicize it, center it, bold it, all the things you can generally do with text. You can add effects into it. No effects in this one currently. You can change the line spacing. You can change the vertical text height, and SEO and accessibility. So every piece of text you put in, you have all of those options. Now I will mention one thing, that you want to keep your fonts to a very basic set of fonts. And I know some people want the real fancy squiggly stuff and script and all these kinds of weird fonts. That's a bad idea. And if you had that in your mind, I'm going to try and talk you out of it. And the reason being is that when you finish your site and publish it, you don't know who's going to be opening that site. It could be somebody that has a computer for 10 years old that doesn't have the fonts that you've chosen, if you chose kind of some of the the ones that are out there. So what their computer will do is they're just going to throw a standard font into that location. Excuse me. So they could just throw the site might throw a New Times Roman in there, or an Arial font in there, and you will lose design control over what your site actually looks like when other people are opening it. Okay, so it's a really good idea to stick to the more popular fonts. You're kind of guaranteed that anybody that opens your site, it's going to look like how you designed it. So one piece of recommendation is kind of choose the popular main fonts, and you won't run into that problem. Okay, so I'm just going to get out of that. We still got the strip down there, and get out of that. Okay, so we're back where we started from. All right, so you've got next is images. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my logo in the site and my images in the site in the store. So how you do that is once you click the image tab, you move over to the right, and you have my uploads. Okay, you've got image collections, which are from Wix, which are basically free images. So if you clicked on free images here, you can get free images from Wix. These are free illustrations from Wix, and there's lots and lots of them. Or you can actually go ahead and buy an image, from somebody like Shutterstock, and by clicking the stock image selection down here. So if you're looking for images, you can simply click there on that arrow to the right, and you can choose any images that are in here. And there's quite a few, and you can, as I said, you can pick drawings as well. That would simply be going to the image free illustrations. and then that gives you a whole bunch of drawings that you can add to your site, and these are all, they're all free images. So, and there's lots and lots and lots of those. And if you look at the categories here, these are illustrations. You can go to images. You can go all categories. You can go different orientations on those images. Different color themes you might be looking for. So, that's free stuff. But what we're going to do for our purpose is we're going to upload the images that I want to use. So if, when we first opened up the video, we said, look, go and collect your logo, and any images that you want to put in your website, any product images, throw those in one spot, and then we'll be able to add them to the website pretty easily rather than looking all over the place for them. So you're going to go to images, you're going to go to My Uploads, and you're going to click My Uploads. All right, and that's going to take you to here, and you don't have any yet, okay? So you're going to go to Upload Media, and that's in the top left here. You see that box right there. So we're going to click Upload Media, and we're going to go, now you get two choices, upload from my computer, or you can drag and drop files in. So we're going to go Upload from my computer, and let me get to my desktop where I put my images, and I put it into a file called Website Graphics. So those are the images I'm going to use for the website. So if I click the first image, which is a bar of activated charcoal soap, hold the Shift key down and select the last image, that's going to highlight all those images, okay? Now I'm going to click on one of these highlighted images and hold the left mouse button down, and then I'm going to drag that over to Upload from Computer box that we have, let it go, and now WIX, as you can see down in the left hand side here, has uploaded all the images I just added to the site into my image folder. Okay, so now when I want to go grab an image, I simply get it from my folder. So all those images, so if you go to Site Files, all these images, there's my logo, product picture, a couple bars of soap, some lip balms, some hand creams, some shampoos. It's all now in my site, and I can grab these images and put them into the site, right? You also have the ability to manipulate these images within this editor here. So if I click on my website graphic, and you can see that in the right hand side, I can crop and edit that graphic, right? So if I pull that up, I can crop it, I can edit it, I can make any changes I want to it, all right? And then that's all going to happen in this here. I can enhance it. So if I want to, enhance this image, I can go here and auto enhance and turn that on, although I'm pretty happy with my image, so I'm not going to do that. I can adjust the image in some brightness, contrast, shadow, color saturation, temperature, all that kind of stuff. I can add filters to this image, and you'll see what those filters would look like if you did apply them. So, that's kind of cool. I can cut the image out, and I'll just do auto cutout here, because I do want to remove the background of this image, because I want to put this as a round image on top of my background in the website that we're creating. And if I didn't cut the actual image out, there's going to be a white box behind it, which isn't going to look very good. This way, there'll be no white box behind it. It's going to be a circle, and I'm going to be happy with it. So I'm going to save that image now, which I can do right up here on the right-hand corner. And once I do that, now that image is available to me as a round image. And you see it put that there, logo final round edited. And I'm just going to show you that again. So if I chose this one, and I went to adjust image, and I went to filters, you notice how that's square, all right? So the image actually has a background around it. So you can see that's the border there, okay? Or you can see the border here. It's a square image, right? That's not what I want, okay? So I want just my round logo. So now when I click on this one and go to adjust image and go to filters, see, it's round on the yellow now. It's not the whole box that's being seen, and that's what I wanted for that. Okay, so I'm just going to hit escape to get out of there. So you can create a video with these images. Lots of things you can do. But anyway, there's the images that I am going to use in our website that we created. Okay, so you do want to take that step. You do want to get your images into the website builder now, because then you can just rely on them. I click over here now, and there's all my images. Okay, so as I'm designing and building, I don't have to, upload image by image and go searching for stuff. So you do want to have that stuff in there, and you can put as many images as you want. There's no rules. Okay. The next one down here is buttons. So we're over here on the left again. Okay. So buttons. Now, if you want to add buttons to your website, you click the buttons, and then you go theme buttons, and of course that's what they look like: text and icon buttons, document buttons, iTunes buttons, WIX chat buttons, PayPal buttons, payment buttons. So here's all your buttons here. So if you want to add buttons to your website, buy now, for example, this is where you'd find those. And then there's galleries. Galleries are good for stores. So it's basically a picture gallery on a page. So if you pulled one of these, there's recommended galleries, pro galleries, grid galleries. So if I pulled, for example, this grid gallery over to the website and then put that on a page, I would fill each of these picture spots up with one of my pictures, and I'd have a gallery on my website. So if you're going to have a photo album or something, you'd add a gallery. All right, and then there's decorative elements you can add. So you got lines, dotted lines, straight lines, triangles, squares, shapes, arrows, all kinds of stuff you can add in. Some icons, just loads and loads of stuff under the decorative menu. Interactive. Interactive are full width slideshows or box slideshows. And so, for example, if you wanted a box on your website that scrolled through different sayings, lip balms are free shipping, order $100 of merchandise and get 10% off. I mean, you can put all kinds of sayings in slideshows or slider boxes, and you find those under that interactive section. And I'm sure you've been to websites where boxes are scrolling through different pieces of information. That's what those are. They're slider shows or slider boxes. Okay, so you get those from that. You can add boxes, all right, all kinds of boxes, call outs, banners, again, more pictures, pictures within banners. So all that's under the box. You can make lists. So if you want to make lists of items, there's all of these choices to make lists, which come up, and then of course you just put your own text in the list boxes. If you're adding video or music, that's the next section. So you can upload a video, and then of course you can manipulate what that video looks like with a border, no border, fixed, floating, all that kind of stuff. Then you have your menus and anchors, and I'll just show you that quickly. So if you look up at this section here, and we talked about this earlier, and this is where your pages are. So the pages in your current website, when you click that, you've got home. So your site pages are home, hair and skin, fragrance, about, and contact. And we're going to change those, but that's what they are right now. But you will also notice that what they've done with those pages is they are now your menu bar up top here, right? So when you look at your site, you're going to have your home screen, your hair and skin screen, your fragrance screen, your about screen, your contact screen, which is the exact same list as you see under site pages. Now, when you add a site page, which I'm going to show you how to do in a little bit, it will add it to that menu bar. Okay, so that's important to know. So I did want to show you that. All right. So menus, that's menus, and you can have your menus look different. Okay, so right now, we have a menu bar that goes across the top with no box around or anything, and then it highlights the one we're on. So you can have any style you want for your menu bar. You can have it vertical, you can have it horizontal, you can have it different colors, you can have it artistic. Anything you see here, you simply choose, and your menu bar will then look like what you have chosen. Okay, so you got said the vertical, the horizontal. So you do have full control over what your menus look like. And there's what's called anchors, and an anchor is basically that if you click this button or this box that says learn about soap, and then you attach an anchor there, and then anchor that to your soap page or to text further on down within your main page, that will pop right down to that. So that's what an anchor is. Some people use anchors, some people don't. I do use anchors, which I'll show you functioning in my actual website. But we'll show you an actual example of that when it comes. All right, and then you've got your site search your site search options, which is basically you can add a search bar up to the top of your website, and I just will show you that this site that they've built for us does have that search bar. So if somebody was looking for lip balms, for example, they could just go search, type lip balms, and it would take them to the lip balm page. All right, so it's going to search your site for the information that your customers are looking for, which is kind of cool. So that's there. Here's your social media, so you can add all of these icons in and attach directly to your Twitter page or your Facebook page or your Instagram page or your TikTok page. So and this site here is down the bottom, right? So there it is right there. Follow us, and you've got Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. And if I click on that and go to social, set social links, okay? So right now, what I would do is I'd go to Twitter, I'd click on Twitter, and then you see down here on the bottom right of this page, right here, this is the Twitter page, all right? So all you would do, oh, I just clicked out of that, sorry. You would click on link, you'd type link, and in here you would type what your Twitter address is, all right? And then when people click on that little icon, it'll take them to your Twitter page, and you can have them open that in a new window or in the current window. And when you are sending people to social media, I would always recommend that you send them up, send them to a new window or a new tab, and that way your website keeps running. Once they close that tab off, they're back in your website. If you make the change in the current window, they might never come back to your website. So it's a good habit to get into. And then you can also set what the links do. Go to a web address, which you're doing in this circumstance. You can set them to a page, to an anchor, top or bottom of a page, to a document, to an email, a phone number, a lightbox. I mean, there's all kinds of choices there, okay? So that's kind of how you set up your social media stuff. And then you hit Facebook, and then you go down here and click this little link box down here. And then you would set up your Facebook, actual Facebook address right here, and then that'll take people right to your Facebook page. Okay, so that's important to know, because a lot of people want to be involved in the social media today and have their website pointing to the social media sites. And then, of course, you'll have your social media sites pointing back to your website as well. You know, we make the best soap ever. You know, try our activated charcoal, click here, and boom, takes you right into the website. So you want to have that kind of stuff going on. All right, so what else you're going to find in here is contacts and forms. So now everything you see from this point forward after menus and anchors are things that we added or asked Wix to add when we went through that questionnaire, and that's why you go through the questionnaire, okay? So in contacts and forms, you can add all of these kind, you know, payment form, a donation form, you know, job application, feedback, health, run a contest, price quote, subscriptions, all kinds of stuff. You can add you know, Google Maps, which is considered a form, you know, a Wix chat button, which is a form, and you'll see that down on the bottom right of our, well, it's behind me right now, but it's you know, a little chat button down there. So there's your contacts and forms with all different types, okay? And embedded, you can embed widgets, which is really HTML code that performs certain things. So for example, you could have a widget for a calendar on your website, or a widget for a clock on your website. You can embed other sites within your website, or have custom elements. That's kind of cool. Content manager, you can set up a blog, and most people do want a blog today. You know, you just go ahead and add that to your site. Your store, of course, they've already added, and there's the pages that they've added for you. If you want to set up bookings, we talked about, you know, bookings for possibly, you know, I'm at this farmer's market every you know, every Tuesday. You know, that's you know, come and see us. You know, book a special time with us. Or if you're running, you know, said a you know, something that is you know, somebody wants to sign up for, you know, you can go ahead and do that there. This is to notify for events. This is your members and the pages that they have. And then my designs, which are, you know, you can make custom designs to add to this site or other sites. So that's kind of a quick rundown of everything that's available in the add section. Okay, this next section here is the actual menus and pages in your site. So this is your site menu. These are the 5 pages we have. So we've got home, hair and skin, fragrance, about, and contact, and those are the same ones you see up in your menu up top here, which we talked about, right? And they're the same ones that you're going to find under this arrow here, right? So just another way to get to them, but this is how you actually play with them and manipulate them. So for example, if you wanted your fragrances page to show up before your hair and skin page, you'd left click, hold it down, move it up, and let it go. And now you notice it's home fragrances instead of home hair and skin. And you'll also notice that it's changed that now in your menu bar in the order as well, okay? And one reason why you want to have the ability to move those up and down, if you end up with, 15 pages in your site, you're not going to fit 15, menu bar items across your top left. So you're going to want to have, the most important ones you want your customers to see visible without having to scroll, right? So you do want the ability to move those around. And then you have your sign up and login information. So the member sign up form, the member login form, and those are things that your customers will click on when they actually join your site. You've got your actual store pages here. Okay, so your product page and your store pages, same thing. You can move them around so they are not if they're not in the order you want, you can certainly move them around. You can delete them here, and this is where you set up your SEO. Okay, so remember, we're in the second icon from the top, menus and pages. You click on that, you go to your store pages, hair and skin, and then you're going to set up your SEO here, search engine optimization. We'll run through that later to help you understand how to do that. You can also rename your page here or delete it if you don't like it or you've made some mistakes and you want to start again. Okay, and then you've got your member pages, which are all the pages that are available to your members, and they have the option to go into each of these pages and see what they're up to, see what they bought, or see their personal information and their shipping address and all that kinds of stuff. And then page transitions. You can have page transitions on your site where a page is swinging it out from the left or up and down from the bottom. The crossfade or going in and out. I personally don't like that. I think it makes the site kind of too busy. But you can certainly do that. I've got none selected for this case, but it's you have that option as well. Okay, so that's what you find under that one. The next one here, which is right here, this is to change the themed colors of your site. Okay, so if you want to click on this one, it takes you into Theme Manager. And you can change your site's theme colors. Okay, so right now this, theme color 1, theme color 2, 3, and so forth, and so on and so forth. And you can also change the text themes of your site. So if you're setting a header 1, it's in Sacramento right now at 33 points. You can go ahead and change that. And you just click on the little pencil and you can make it 35 points. You can change the actual font to anything you want it to be. So these are the preset fonts that this template uses, all right? But you can change any one of those. And when you do change it, if I was to change this header 1 font, to a new font, Tahoma, it would change every heading 1 to Tahoma. Or if I was to change the point size to 40, it would change every one to 40. Okay, so that's kind of a way to change everything in one foul swoop. But this is themes of your site for the color selection. And that's the color selection we're currently using. And then it's you can pick another color selection. The next one is your background. So we have a flower background that we've chosen. I'd have to be clicked on it for you to see that. But this is where you can choose your background images, and you can choose a master image for every page, or you can choose an image for each page. But that's where you set your backgrounds. Okay. Next one is apps. Now, this is one of the more powerful functions on Wix. You can add apps to your website. And we're not going to add any apps until we've actually designed the site, we're happy with it, and we're ready to publish, because really apps help you to better manage the site or give you more information or to add cool elements to your site. So for example, you can add an events calendar to your site and put that on its own page. And there it is. You don't have to design it. It already exists, and it happens to be free. Okay. So what you'll find is you'll find 3 types of plans here. Free plans, which you can simply add, countdown timers, that kind of stuff. Or you can add, if you have a premium site, which I'm going to recommend you absolutely do have when you actually publish this. Some of these you have to have a premium site in order to use these add-ins, right? Or these apps they're called. So you can start a rewards point on your site. So every $100 you get, we're going to give you a special reward or a token, and you can spend those tokens later on, type thing. Okay. So you've got free, you've got those that are only available for premium sites, and then you have those that cost money. So Wix Bookings is a Wix Bookings app, which is kind of fancy. We do have an events app already installed. It's $17 a month is what that would cost you. So that's a paid app. Okay. So you have the choice of free. You can use it only if you have a premium site, or you can pay for it. And some are paying on a monthly basis, some are paying on an annual basis. It all depends on what you're looking at. And if you do have a particular app installed, this app store is going to show you that. So we've got the Wix stores installed, of course. We've got the Wix events installed. We've got the Wix blog installed. We've got the Wix chat installed. So we've already installed those things. So I would strongly recommend that you go through and take some time, and not necessarily right now, but before you actually publish your site and make it live, to go through and look what's available. And you might find, oh, well, that will be real nice to have, and it's free, and I think I'm going to add that function to my site. All right. And it's there's over 500 of these things now. There's lots and lots and lots of them, and you certainly don't have to go look for 500. But if you are looking for something that's going to accomplish a very specific thing, you can also type it in the search bar up here, and so I could type events up here, see what that gives us, and then that should bring us up with, see, there's everything to do with events. So Google Event Calendar, Event Viewer, Event Brief, Event Calendars, Boom Event Calendars. So far, there's just, I said, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. Okay, so it's you can look at the team picks, you can look at newest apps, what are popular this current month, some Wix business solution apps, lead collection apps. You want to add some more analytics in, and visitor analytics is actually a pretty good one. And I will point out, though, if it says free plan available rather than just free plan, it means yes, you can get a very stripped down version, but if you want all the nuts and bolts, you probably end up having to pay for that. So just be cautious of that. Interact with your visitors, marketing, selling online, services and events. I mean, it's on and on and on and on. So it's not something we're going to spend a lot of time with today, because it all depends, what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve, and what makes sense to you. So for me, for example, selling soap and lip balms and hand creams and shampoo bars, I don't need to have a hotel's Airbnb map, right, for example. So I mean, everybody's going to be unique, so I can't say go get this one. All depends what you're trying to accomplish. But anyway, that is the app store, and that's the fifth icon down. On this the sixth icon, my business. Now my business is going to give you everything that you have in your, and they're calling your online store your business, everything you have in your site. So we have Wix stores, right? We have the Wix blog, the Wix events. So these are all the things that we currently have on the top here. And then these are things that we certainly can add in on the bottom, okay? And if you notice this little red circle on top of 3 of these, that's there because you have to do something, okay? So although the Wix blog app is installed in your site, it's not activated, right? So you'd have to actually go continue here on this next box over here and go in and actually set your blog up. And it's the same thing. You have the Wix events app on your site, but this is telling you have no events set up yet. So you have to go here to continue, and then you can actually go ahead and set your events up, okay? So that's all that little red circle is showing you on top there. All right, so that's my business. And then this very last one here is media. And this is going to help you connect to your social media accounts, okay? And there's a couple ways to do that. I did show you. You could simply go down to the bottom, and set these accounts up. But then you can actually go in here into Facebook, for example, and connect to it and import any information that you have in Facebook or Instagram, or Twitter. I mean, any of the social media sites. So if you actually want to import information from your social media site to your website, you can go ahead and do that here. And once you're connected, and that'll happen down the bottom here, which I showed you, is simply connecting to the site and sending people there when they click this button. All right. This one over here is actually trading information back and forth, and you could select what you want to trade and what you don't want to trade. Okay, so that's kind of the information you need to know to get going here. The last thing I will show you is, now that we're kind of ready to kick this off, we'll go back to the home page and we will hit save our site, and they're going to bring up a box here and say, look, your site's been saved. Do you want to publish it? Now, a couple things I want to show you here, which are very important. This here is the name of your website, okay? So remember I said, if you're going to set up your own domain and buy a package that comes with a free 1-year domain, which you certainly want to do, this could say lifejeopardysoaps.ca, and that's it. Because we haven't done that yet, the name of our website is going to be kobeson.wixsite.com/mysite. And that's what people are going to have to search for and find, or type into an address bar in order to find you. The only thing you can do is you can edit this last section here that happens to say my site, and you can edit that, but that's it. And you can type in soap company, whatever you want. Hit the check mark, and now that's what your site's going to look like in an address bar. So it's not professional. Highly recommend that you get your own domain. However, there it is. So after we save the site, we've edited it. Once I hit done, that's going to be the new address for the site. And then it gives you the option to publish your site now. And of course, we don't want to publish it yet because we haven't put any products in or changed it to our own. So we're just going to hit done for now. Okay. It is going to autosave. See, autosave is on. To turn autosave off, shortcuts of Control plus Alt plus A, but I recommend you leave it on. But up to you. If you want to save it manually, you can. But if you happen to have a crash and you haven't saved it for an hour, you're going to lose everything that you've done. So that's everything you need to know to start editing and designing your own site. So that's where we're going to go now. I'm going to actually go in and put all my information for my soap company into my website here. So that's the next step. I would recommend that you go ahead and click around, play around, look at these elements I've just shown you, and the more familiar you can become with them, the easier it's going to be for you to actually use them and throw them into your site. So next, let's make this into a website that's specific to us. Okay. So to begin with, what you'll notice is that if you go over to your home page here and you hit that arrow down, we have two store pages in here that we don't want to have. Okay, so hair and skin, obviously we're not selling those products. They're just sample products for the page. And we have fragrances. All right, so those two pages are going to have to go or change. Now, unfortunately, with Wix, you just can't go ahead and delete them, or it'll delete your whole store. So we have to work around that a little bit. Now, you have two options. Number one is you could go into your inventory and your collections and change each one into your own product. But that's kind of arduous. It's tedious. We don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create our own store pages, and then eventually get rid of one of these and hide one just to put it out of the way. All right, and that's the easiest way to do that. So I mentioned that there's two areas that we're going to work in. The one area is this screen here, which is our editor, which is where we actually create our site and do all of our work, put our names, our pictures, our logo in, all of our fancy advertising and that kind of stuff. The other area is the dashboard, okay? And the dashboard is where you deal with all of the back office stuff. So to get to the dashboard, you go up here to your settings menu, all right? And you click on that. And then you go down to the very bottom and you'll see my dashboard down here. So you want to click on my dashboard, and that's going to take you up to the dashboard for this site that we just created, okay? Now, there's a couple sections here that you want to know about. In the center section, once we finish building our site and are actually just about to publish it, we're going to come into here in the dashboard and we're going to go through all these steps, which is, adding your first products we're going to do now. But then set up a payment method. How are you going to get paid? You're going to be using Square or Stripe or PayPal or the WIX payment methods. We're going to set up our shipping regions and how we're going to ship. And then eventually we're going to connect the domain. So I said you really do want to have your own domain. So we'll work on showing you how to set that up. We'll do the SEO, search engine optimizations of our pages. And then we'll publish your site and you are in business. So that's kind of the last step we're going to take. But for now, we're going to look over here on the left-hand side of your screen. And this is all of your back office functions, okay? So you've got your dashboard, which we're in, your store products, your store orders. So when you're actually up and running and receiving orders from customers, you'll come into here to see your actual orders and fulfill them into your dashboard. We have our contacts here, our communications, CRM tools, marketing, SEO, analytics, which is kind of cool. Shows you how many people have come to your site and what pages they're looking at and that kind of stuff. Deal with some of the finances, basically all of the back office stuff. But the first thing we want to do is we want to go in and get rid of the stuff that we have there. That we don't want, those other products. So if you look up here and store products, this is where we're going to find that information. Okay, so if I hover over store products and go to inventory, it's going to show you everything that you currently have in inventory. Okay, and this is all the products that they've put in there. Now you can certainly go into each one, change it to be your own product, but then you have to go in and change the page itself. It's easier just to start from scratch. All right, so we'll go to the products tab, and we're going to go to select all, which is this button right up here in the top left. And once we select it all, we're going to go over here to the little trash can icon, and that's where we're going to get rid of all those products. So it's going to give you a warning message. You won't be able to recover them, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. Get rid of them. Now we have 0 products in our inventory, so we don't have to go ahead and get rid of all that stuff one by one or try to overwrite it, right? That's step 1. Step 2 is you go over to the collections tab, which is over here, right there. And collections, all products are stored within collections, okay? So you're going to notice 3 boxes here. This first one is you always have this, and this is all of your products that you put on your website. So if you have 100 different products or 200 products, they're all going to show up in the all products box. That's just the way it is. They have to somewhere to put it. But then each of your different types of products, so if you have soaps or you have hand creams or jewelry or necklaces or earrings, they each get put into a collection, and that's a collection box, okay? And this one here is a collection box, all right? Now you'll notice these collections don't have anything in them because we just deleted all of our products. So we're going to get rid of those 2 boxes. We don't need them, so we're going to delete that one. Again, a warning message, just ignore it, delete, and we're going to get rid of this one and delete, okay? So now we've got a clean starting page for our collections, and I'm going to be selling for this purpose on our tutorial soap, hand cream, lip balms, and shampoo bars. So I'm going to create 4 collections for those, okay? So what you do is you simply go new collection, all right, and then you give your collection a name. So this one's going to be called soaps. I could have an image for it, and the only thing an image does here is when you're in your actual collections, it shows you a picture. I don't need that, so I just save it just as it is. So I'm going to go up here to the top right, and I'm going to hit that save button. So I hit save. So now I have a soaps collection. I'm going to add stuff in a minute. New collection, I'm going to have hand creams. So I'm going to put hand cream in here. Hand creams, I guess. I should have probably labeled my other one soap, so I did. Okay. We're going to put products in a minute. A new collection. So for basically every one of your products that are in a unique category, you're going to want to create a collection for that category. And what we're doing here is we're just working on some of the back office stuff, right? And then I'm going to add some stuff in a minute. And new collection. My last one is going to be shampoo bars. So that's what we're going to be selling on this website. And I'm going to save that. So now I have my all products and then the soaps, hand creams, lip balms, and shampoo bar collections. and all of your products are going to be in those collections. Okay, so that's step one. So we've kind of taken out the stuff we don't want on this site, and we've added collections for each of our products. Okay, so and products are really broken down by product type, however you do that. You certainly don't have to have everything in collections. You could have everything in your all products and just send your customers to one page, but that's kind of confusing. So you create collections. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our products, and we're going to add some products. Okay, so you'll notice up here that there's the new product button, and we're simply going to tap that button to add a new product. Now you got two choices. It can be a digital file, so if you're selling music or software, you'd select digital file. I'm selling physical stuff, so you hit physical, and there we go. So this is our a single product page, okay? And we'll run through this quickly. So the first thing we're going to do is, if you go down just a little bit, name. Okay, so this is where you name your product. So I'm going to be selling charcoal soap. All right, and then I'm going to be selling that soap for $6 Canadian. Okay. If you wanted to put it on sale, this is where you'd have your sale, and then it'll ask you for the sale price. And you could show price per unit. I don't do that for soap. And then a little description of your product. Best charcoal soap ever. And of course, you would do a pretty fancy description of your product. Again, this is a tutorial. Now in this description box, you can manipulate this text just like you could in a Word file. I can bold that. I can italicize it. I can underline it. I can change the font size. I can change the color. I could link it to another page or another area. So you have all that option there. And you do want to put in, obviously, a pretty good description for your product. Okay. Now, so additional info sections. So you can share information like return policies, care instructions, that kind of stuff. You can create that section if you want. I don't need it for soap. Most people know how to use soap. The next one is a custom text, and this is where if you have different colors, for example, you can open up and create a custom text field for the customer to select either different sizes of your product or different colors of your product. That's not applicable to me, so I'm just going to leave that blank. But that's where you would do that. Okay. And then inventory. So you want to, I like to track my inventory, of course. And then if I'm getting low in inventory as I sell products, it'll say, hey, look, you're down to 5 products in that. So the inventory that you have, you should track it and put it in there. You probably have an SKU number, which is a SKU number. If you do, you put that in there. And then I always put my shipping weights in, and my soap is 124 grams, which is 0.124 kilograms, because I ship by weight, right? So I offer, for example, free lip balms, shipping on lip balms. So, I set my freight parameters that, anything that's under a certain weight is free shipping, and anything over a certain weight, you're going to have to pay for. So in this case, I would set my shipping parameters at 0.123 kilograms. Anything over that would get charged shipping. Anything under that wouldn't. So I always put a weight in for that reason. And if you were creating subscriptions, we talked about that a little earlier, for monthly, payment or charge for a service or a product, you would go ahead and select that box and create a subscription. And then the last thing we need to do here is add an image. And if you remember, we moved all those images into this website earlier. So we're going to go to our images, and I don't want my logo here. So I'm going to take from that image. Oh, I want my activated charcoal soap, so I want that one. Hold the control key down and select that one and go add to page. And now it just put my two pictures into my activated charcoal soap page. So that's good. Now I do want to make this part of my soap collection, okay? So if I don't, it'll simply go into that all category. It's going to go there anyway, and here's your collections down here. I certainly want this soap put into my soaps collection. So I do that and hit save, and I have my first product in my inventory, okay? So what you'll see here is I've got charcoal soap, it's a physical. I've got my SKU number, my price, and 1,000 in inventory. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put a new product in, physical file, and I'm going to go ahead and now put in my spearmint soap. I'll just do a second one so you can follow along. I'm going to settle that for $6. It's not on sale. Best spearmint soap ever. And of course you'll put a nice description in there. I'm going to put this in inventory. I'm going to put 1,000 in stock. I'm going to put my SKU number in, and it has to be a unique separate number from your last one. And my shipping rate is 0.124, which is 124 grams, and that's good. I'm going to go ahead and add my picture for my spearmint soap. And I'm going to put in, this one and this one. Add to page. And there's my spearmint soap pictures in there. And I'm going to add it to my soaps collection and then save it. Okay. And what I did by mistake here, when you saw that go big, is I held my control key down and moved my center mouse wheel, and that is how you expand or collapse the size of what you're looking at. All right, so there we go, 2 soaps in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put in my 2 hand creams, my 2 lip balms, and my 2 shampoo bars. It's going to look exactly the same as I just did for my soaps, the exact same steps. I won't make you watch that, so I'm going to go ahead and put those in, and then in the blink of an eye, I'll be back. All right. Okay, I've gone ahead and added all of my products now for our new website. So I have 2 shampoo bars, I have 2 hand creams, I have 2 lip balms, and I have 2 soaps. And you'll notice that they all have SKUs, a price attached, an inventory amount, and you see that under your products tab. Under my inventory tab, just below the products tab, when I click on that, it's going to show me my inventory of each of these items. So when I happen to have 1,000 of each in stock, and if you look over here on the right hand side, there's 3 elliptical circles, and when you click those, you can stop tracking the quantity of inventory or edit the product info. Okay, and I wanted to talk about that for a second. So you can go edit product info if you didn't like something or you want to change something. The other way you can do that is either from the products page here or the inventory page, and you simply click on it. So I've noticed that my charcoal soap, I need to make a change on that. So I simply clicked on it, and the name is actually activated charcoal soap. So now I can make that change, and then I'll hit my save button up in the top right up here, and once I do that, now my soap will be called activated charcoal soap. And I go down and look at that, there it is. I look at my inventory, it's now activated charcoal soap down at the bottom. Okay, so we've added all those products, we've put each one in its own collection. And now when we look at collections, all of a sudden you'll see some changes here. So now in the all products category here, you'll notice that we have 8 products. And those are how many products we have on our website. Okay. And then you look at each of the other 2 collections, and you've got hand creams. We've got 2 of them. And you see that right here. Lip balms, we have 2 of them. And you see that right here. Shampoo bars, 2 of them, and you see that here, and soaps, and we've got 2 of them, you see that here. So if you have gone ahead and added your own products to your website, obviously you'll have your own collections and number of products in each collection. Okay, so once we've done that, they're still not on our site. So if we go back to our website, the editor, and you'll notice now we should have 2 tabs open. If you look at the very top left, right now we're in the dashboard. If we go back to our actual editor, okay, you'll see that if you don't notice a lot of changes because we haven't actually added anything to the site yet. Okay, that's all back office work. So the only changes you do see is when I hit hair and skin page, those products are now gone. See that? Because we took them all away. And when you hit the fragrances page, those products are all gone because we took them away. Okay, so that's the only site changes you see so far. So now we have to actually put our products into our website. And here's how we do that. So you go to a collection and left click on that collection once. And I'm going to, for this purpose, start with hand creams. Okay, so I'm just going to left click once on hand creams. And when you click on that, it's going to show you both of those products in your collection. Hand creams. You could have a collection image, but again, I've decided not to do that for this purpose. You can also, and I guess out of side note, you can also create coupons for your product or send email campaigns to your customers if you're running a sale or something from this site. But you will notice that when we did that, an extra yellow box came up the top here right now, which basically says add this collection to your store so your customers can purchase from it. Okay, so you can add that collection there. Or the other spot you can add it is right down here on the middle right, which is add collection to site, and we're going to need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and add my hand cream collection to the site. Okay, add this collection to your site so your purchasers can purchase from it. Add now. Okay, so once you hit add now, you're going to get two choices. You can create a new page for this collection, or you can add this collection to an existing page. All right. So for this purpose, what we'll do is we'll add two of our collections to our existing page, and then we'll add the other two to new pages. Okay. So if we go to add collection to an existing pages, our current fragrances page is empty. So let's go add the collection to that page now. All right, instead of seeing all of those fragrances that used to be in there, you now see our two hand creams. Don't worry about the different pictures. I've done that on purpose so I can show you how to manage the photos within your website and within your gallery. Okay, so we've added our hand creams to fragrances. So now we're going to go back to our dashboard. And we're going to save that. We're going to go to our lip balm collection. We're going to go add this collection to our site. Add now. And it's going to ask us the same thing. So we want to go, in this case, we're going to add it to an existing page because we know we have one. So we've already added one to fragrances. This one we're going to add to hair and skin because we did get rid of all the hair and skin products that were in there because they weren't our products. So we'll go ahead and do that. Now we have our two lip balms in there. And again, you'll notice the two different pictures. We're going to show you how to fix that in a second because when you are uploading pictures, they can be all different resolutions, all different sizes, and you're not quite sure what you're going to get. But we do have the ability to fix that, right? So now, so far, we've added two collections to our site. Let's go and add our soaps. So we'll save that. Actually, we'll add our shampoo bars next just because they're in order. And we're going to follow the same process. So we're going to add it to site, add new, and this time we're going to create a new page because we don't have a blank page to put these on. Okay, so we're going to create a new page for this, and the page will be called shampoo bars, which makes sense. We don't have to change that. They've copied our title. So create page. Okay, our two shampoo bars are now on our site. And every time we do this, I will just show you because I've been making a few steps I haven't talked about. You'll notice that we have three now pages up here. Every time you add a page to a site, it actually reopens the site to do that. We don't need two website editors open, so we just close one, go back to the dashboard, save that change we just made, and now we're going to put our soaps in our site. And we're going to add those to site. Add now, and we're going to create a new page for our soaps and stuff in a second. So we're just getting everything in our website. So this one here, we want to create a new page. The name of soaps for that page sounds absolutely perfect. And we're going to go create page. Now, there is our soaps that are in our new website. So there's a couple things that have happened now. You're going to see some changes. So I'm going to go over here and look at the pages that are in our site. We're going to do that right here. And when I click the menus and pages, now you're going to notice in the site menu, we've got home, hair and skin, because we haven't renamed that yet. Fragrances, because we haven't renamed it yet. Shampoo bars and soap. So these two have been added. All right. So that has happened. So what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to do, and again, if you go up, there's many ways to get into things. And again, I think I showed you can go into the page menu here, or you can go into this little envelope icon or page icon here. Either way, so we're going to go through the top this time just for fun. And we're going to go to hair and skin. And we're going to just confirm that, yes, we actually have our product in there. All right, so now let's do some editing. So there, all our editing is done on this side here. So open our pages up. Now, when you see your hair and skin page, we know that's now a lip balm page. So you click on the elliptical on the right-hand side. You go down to rename, and we're simply going to call this page lip balms now. All right, and then when I go done, that's now a lip balm page, as you can see highlighted, okay? And then we're going to go to our fragrances page, and clicking on it brings it up if you forget what's in there. This is our hand cream page, so we're going to hit that elliptical again, and that's pretty easy to see, but right there. And we're going to change the name of our fragrances page to hand creams. Again, we're just working on back office, getting all the structure of our site set up before we actually go and make the site pretty. All right, so now what we have is a product page. And that's going to have all of the products in it, all right? The product that you've chosen. Then you got your shampoo bars, your lip balms, your hand creams, and then, of course, you still have your cart page and your thank you page. All right. Okay. Now we click on Site menu. We'll see all our pages up here. All right, and you'll notice that they are now, one thing I will show you is you notice these icons here. That's the icon for a home page. This is the icon for a page on your website, okay, which is an information page or a text page. And this icon, which looks like a little shopping bag, are the icons for your store pages. All right, so we now have 4 store pages: lip balms, hand creams, shampoo bars, and soaps. And the other thing I want to show you that just happened when we did that is if you look at the menu bar on your site, it's gone ahead and added your lip balms, your hand creams, about, contact, more. Now, you don't see your shampoo bars and you don't see your soaps because they don't fit in this menu section that only takes 6 menu items. So I'm going to show you how to fix that in a minute, but I just did make that change for you. So now we're moving right along, and we all have all of our pictures. Excuse me. Next thing we want to do is make these pictures all to look all the same. We want them basically to fit into the gallery that they're in. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. All right. So what you do is you click within, and I'm going to click right in this area here. So you click within the gallery, and see, this is called a slider gallery. And you go into settings, okay? And when you're in settings, now you have all of these choices. So there's your products, okay? So we're choosing our hand creams in this case. And you have layout. And when you go into layout, you have a bunch of options in here to how you want to display your product, okay? So you can have the writing to the left, no writing, writing within the box itself, or your writing centered. I happen to like centered writing, so I'm going to choose that one there. All right. Now, how's image resized? Right now it's cropped. We want to choose it to fit. So I'm looking right here. How's image resized? All right. And as soon as I hit I want to fit, it's going to fix all those pictures. And if you see that hand cream, and I'll just show you that again. So if you watch this hand cream bottle here, you see it's right now cropped to its image size to fit the box that the gallery has created for it. We want that hand cream to fit. So just watch the hand cream as I select fit. Now my hand cream fits nice in there. All right, I like the 1-to-1 ratio, in case you can change things from horizontal to vertical. It's still going to fit, so I kind of leave that there. I did like my text in the center, like I mentioned. Now columns, you can have, if you only have, if you had 20 products on this page, and your customer opened up that site, and you only had 2 columns selected with only 2 products in it, it's only going to show 4 products. And you'd have to hit a show more button or something down there. I always like to put the columns right up to the maximum, because in that case, when they scroll through your site, they could do just that, scroll through your site without having to hit buttons. Okay, so I would recommend that. However, for this purpose, because I don't have all these products, I'm just going to put 1 column. And that also, I go with, that looks good there. I go 2 because I like my products kind of centered, and of course I can play with that as well. Then you can work on spacing between the boxes. So if you have to picture a box around each of these pictures. There's kind of a box that looks like this. It's invisible, but it's there. You can deal with the spacing between the box, which is going to show you between the spacing and the padding how close or far away your products are from each other. Okay, so that's one way to manage that. And then the other one is the padding, of course, which you can put a lot of padding in, and you can put a little bit of padding in. All right, so we'll go with 5. All right, so that's how you manage the layout. And then on the actual settings, what do you want to see? All right, so we want to see the gallery. If you want to see the gallery title, you can put that in there. And I can't really show you that one in here, but it just came up here. Your product name, your product price, name and price divider, and I do like to have those name and price dividers in, so that's that little divider that you see. And this is all personal preference now, right? So you got that little divider I do like there. I also like to have my my label centered, all that kind of stuff. And I want to show my price and the name. You can also go to hover only, and if you hover over top of it, I'm going to actually move this a little bit over here so we can see. It'll bring that closer. I don't necessarily think that hovering is necessary, but of course it's a choice. Open the mini cart. Mini cart shows up on the right hand side when the button is clicked, or you can go to the actual page cart. I just like to show the mini cart, or you can stay on the product page. And the reason I like to show the mini cart is people can kind of follow along as they're adding things to their cart. They know how much they're putting in there and how much they're spending, but they don't actually have to leave the page that they're shopping on. If you had selected this go to cart button here, it would actually take them to the cart page, and then they have to go find out where they were. And if you go stay on the page, they don't get any information on what they're actually purchasing. And then I've also added in the quantity button here, which allows the customer to choose how many of those items they want before they put it in the cart. Then they can go add to cart rather than having to do it in the cart. And I just find a lot of convenience to that for customers. So that's kind of how I set up the settings page. On the text page, now here you've got you can change the name of what it says down here. You put in basket, add to your cart, which is there. You can change that whatever you want, and you simply click on it and put a new name in it. I'm going to keep add to cart just because I happen to like that. You can change the style of the cart and the gallery. So you've got lots of stuff there. If it is out of stock, you do want to have an out of stock message on there so customers aren't wasting their time. So more things to do under the text. Under design, this is where you customize the buttons, the colors, the text. And for this purpose, I'm not going to work on stylistic elements per page. You don't want to sit here watching me do that. And you can play with all that stuff, and you can change the background opacity of if you had a background on the box, you can add borders around it. You can change the color of buttons and your text, and all that basic text editing and design editing kind of stuff is available to you. And certainly you should go through and play with all those things to see what they do, but they have no effect on actually getting a website up and running. They're just design elements, and I'll let you work on your own design elements because your idea of what some should look like is probably different than mine. Quick view, okay? So I do like to have the quick view on, and that's when you hover over the product, and now it actually brings out some information about that product, okay? So I like to have that selected. And the same thing, you can go and customize the button color and you know, the borders and the shape and all that kind of stuff. And those are design elements that you can work on. Then you go into manage, which is basically manage your store, and that's where we were before. And then you can upgrade your site from here. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've kind of centered these in the page. I've changed it to 2 columns or 3 columns, I can't remember. And you know, that looks pretty good to me. So when your customer opens up that page, they're going to see your nice 2 products. And obviously you're going to have more than 2 products usually within a category. But for the, you know, for this purpose, I'm just putting 2 of each in. And then this last button here, which we haven't talked about, is to manage the products. And that will take you back to your dashboard where we were when we put all these products in here to begin with, okay? So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into each of these 4 pages, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to make my graphics fit, change my column width, you know, center my text, and pretty well leave everything the same, which is the exact steps I took with this page. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, I've gone ahead and made those changes to each of the pages. One thing I did make a small change, so I'm going to go back into the settings of the gallery just to show you. I put a black box around the product because I only have 2 of on each page. You know, you'll have more than that, so you don't have to. But you know, I had selected this one with no box. They kind of looked you know, too far apart and too separate. So I did put a black box around there. You know, and that I thought that made it look a little better. So when I look at my site now, I'm kind of happy with that. 2 things I didn't show you is you can put filters in. So you can add filters to your gallery, each gallery, and then they can filter, you know, by a price range slider, or by your collections or product options. I don't have enough products in here to do that, so I'm not going to. But it's a great option to have on your site. And the other one is sorting. When you look at sorting, you know, your customers can sort by newest, price highest to low, lowest to high, A to Z, Z to A. So, you know, give your customers a sorting option as well. And it just adds those options to the top right here. So now you have a sort bar. You know, we didn't have that before. And if I turn this off, you know, that sort bar goes away. So, you know, for 2 shampoo bars on a page, you don't need to do a lot of sorting. So I'm not going to do it. But on your website, you might find that that's, you know, that's a really nice option for your customers. So just consider those 2 options there. All right. So basically, we are good. All of our pages now look pretty. There's my lip balms, and there's my hand creams. And when you look at the menu bar is what we're going to look at next. So if you notice here is that I'm now in the site pages. So let me actually do that again and show you where I'm going. So I'm going to be in this here. Okay. I'm going to click the menus and pages, and I'm going to go into my site menu. All right, now if you look at all of these pages, they are in the same order, okay, that you see them on your menu bar up here. So you got home, lip balms, hand creams, so on and so forth. Here you have home, lip balms, hand creams, so on and so forth. So they go in the same order. So the first thing you want to do is figure out how you're going to get your shampoo bars and soaps up into your menu bar. Now, you could certainly have more than 6 items showing. You could, well, actually, I'll show you that when I tell you about it. So if you click on your menu bar, okay, there's a whole bunch of options that come up here, okay? So we'll go into, and your options are obviously here at the bottom, okay? So we'll just take a quick look at those. So if you go into your menu manager, okay, that's where we just were. And I could actually take these, and if I left click and hold it down, I could move it up, all right? So now hand creams come after your home screen or your home page, okay? So I could certainly do that, and I could move all of my product pages up so they're together, all right? So I've just done that. So now I have hand creams showing first, then shampoo bars, then soap, then lip balms. I'll do it by order of popularity. So my soaps are popular, then my shampoo bars, then my lip balms, and then my hand creams. Okay, so that's the kind of order I like. But you will notice now that you did lose your about page and your contact page. So if you did, you know, if you happen to have, you know, 10 or 15 different pages here of shopping options for your customers, there's an easier way to deal with that in a better way by putting in submenus. I'm going to show you that in a second, okay? But first we're going to go over here. We're going to click within, okay, our menu strip. And then you can go to navigate, okay? Navigate is exactly what we just did, is moving through. And then you can click on this little, I don't know what the button's called, but layout button, right? And now this is where you can work on layouts, all right? So you can have your, and if you watch the actual menu strip up here as I chat, you'll see some of the changes that are happening. So you can make your menus to the left, or centered, or right. I like to have them centered, okay? You can have all items the same size. I don't like that because it's going to make the same box size for each menu item. It's going to separate them, and it's not going to look good unless they're all exactly the same number of letters or characters. You see, so I don't like that. So I keep it together like that. You can have it fill the whole menu. That's good. I usually don't do that till I finish though, and I have it looking like I want it to look. Okay. And then, of course, you got your alignments, left, right, center. You can display from left to right, right to left, right? So that's what that layout tab does. On this design tab, this is where you get to choose what your menu bar looks like. So right now we've chosen this one right here, which was the default, and we like that one. That's what our template came with. But you can certainly change that to any other style you want. You can put it to the box style, the no indicator bar style. I happen to like this one. You can put them vertical, you can put them horizontal. So you've got to make a custom design. So lots of options there. In this one here, animation, you can have your when you hover over it, fly in, fly out, all that kind of stuff. I usually don't bother with that. And if you hit the stretch key, it's going to stretch it for the whole width of your site. I don't recommend that unless it's on its own line, and I'll show you why. I'll show you what that looks like. When you stretch this thing out, it's stretching out to your whole size of your website. Now, if you did want to have it on its own line, which you could certainly do, you can pick this menu bar up and move it wherever you want, right? So you could have it on its own line, but again, that's not really so professional. So I just kind of leave it like that. So you can certainly play with this bar and make it look like what you want, and move it around, change its style and shape and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to leave it just like it is. I'm happy with that. What I'm not happy with is this more button. Don't like those. So I'm going to show you how to deal with that now, okay? So basically, you go into your menus and pages again, all right? And then you go into your site menu. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a page, all right? And this page is going to be a general page. Actually, we're going to make a blank page, okay? And this page is going to be called Shop Now is what I'm going to name it, right? And that's Shop Now. And that's going to be a master page in our menu bar, and then we're going to put all of our shopping pages underneath that page. So if I left click on Shop Now and move that up just below Home, okay? So now that is, if you look at, we have Home and we have Shop Now, okay? And then you've got your soap, shampoos, lip balms, and then more. So that's step one. Step two is to now take your soaps and make them into a submenu. And how you do that is you can go on the elliptical, click the elliptical, and hit subpage. All right, that's one way to do it. All right, or you can actually left click and hold it and move it over to the right. All right, which I've just done. Lip balms over to the right, and it's making all these subpages of Shop Now. Okay, hand cream over to the right. All right, so now you'll notice if you look at my menu bar, I only have 4 items on there. And those 4 items are Home, Shop Now, About, and Contact. They fit within my menu strip, and I'm real happy about that. Now, if I want to add a couple more pages on my site and still have everybody see those pages, now I can do that, okay? And that's just perfect. Now, I'm just going to give you a quick preview. I'm actually going to save my work because I do have auto save off. If you want to save auto save on and off, you hit Control Alt A, and at the same time, and it'll just do that. And now auto save. Oh, I hit S. Auto save is on. Now it's off. I personally like it off. I mean, unless you've done a lot of computer work, I'd recommend to leave it on. I don't like it saving changes I might not necessarily like, so I like to have it off, and then I get to save it when I want to. So I've just saved those changes that we've made, okay? And same thing, don't publish it yet, or else it'll actually be in the internet. We're just going to hit done, and we're going to preview it, and I'm going to show you what that menu bar looks like, okay? So now, when I hit my Shop Now, Now I have soaps, shampoos, lip balms, and hand creams all available on independent or submenus. So I can go into my soaps, I can go into my shampoo bars, I can go into my lip balms, and I can go into my hand creams. And we're going to make that look pretty in a second, okay? So, that's how I like to do that. I can go home. I mean, all these menus work, obviously. Okay, so let's go back to our editor, and we're simply going to do that up here. So we've just taken a quick preview of the site we saved. So I like that. Now, you can put as many menus with submenus in as you want. For this purpose today, we're going to leave that as it is. I will probably add a fact page or a frequently asked questions page, just so I can show you how to actually add a page to your website other than a shop page. But I like that, so we're going to stick with that and call it good. All right, so now the next step is we have to, and we're not going to be working in our dashboard anymore. You can close that or leave it open. If you close it, you can open up it again by going to Settings, Dashboard, or you can just leave it open. I'm just going to leave it open for this case. So now I'm going to continue to work in the editor, and I'm going to clean up some of these pages, okay? So I'm going to go and start right at the top. Now, Shop Now. One thing you do want to deal with this Shop Now is you want to make sure that people can't click on it to open a page. Well, I shouldn't say that. If you want people to be able to, I'm going to go to preview again. If you want to have information on this Shop Now page, okay, and you click that, it comes up as a blank page, all right? You don't want people to be able to click that. You want them to have to go down into the menus to select an actual product page, all right? So I'll show you that in a quick second. Back to the editor, all right? Okay, so we are going to now work on a bit of cleanup before we go too far here. So this is the soap page we put in. This is the one we made. And I'm going to show you it's a little different in style than the two pages that we took the product out and put the product back in. Same with the shampoo bar page, okay? So it's just a nice clean page. And this is purely by preference and what you like, all right? I don't like to have these graphics up here. Because then you gotta scroll down to see your products and stuff, and it's purely design elements. But I'm simply going to left click on that and delete that graphic because I don't want it in there, okay? And then I've got the choice now. I can move this page, click on it, and stretch it up. I can grab this page and move it up, okay? And you can grab a page anywhere you want, all right? So that's the first change we're going to make. And you notice we do have our gallery name in here. I kind of like that, and I find that to be nice and clean. And we'll tighten all this stuff up in a minute, okay? I don't want to add anything to that right now, so we're going to deal with that in a bit. And we're going to adjust this back up here. So we'll clean this up a little bit, okay? So first thing we'll do is change this title here. So I'm going to click on it. And this is our lip balm page. So I'm going to edit text. And when you click on edit text, you have all of these options available. And because we've chosen a pre-built template, I'm going to leave all the text just as it is. But you can change it to a heading 2 or heading 1, heading 3. You can change the font. Just be aware that Google searches by heading priority. So heading 1s get searched before heading 2s, and heading 2s get searched before heading 3s. I'm going to leave the font size the same. Actually, I'm going to increase the font size just a little bit, put it up to 30. I think that looks good. And I'll do that for each of my pages. And then, of course, I'm going to change this to say lip balms because it's no longer hair and skin. This is one of the pages that we took the products out and put our own products in. So we're going to go with lip balms. I like that. Okay. All right. We're going to do that for each page, and that just will take a second. So we got to change lip balms. We got to change shampoo bars. Actually, this one here, we'll change the hand creams first. Let's get rid of that graphic. I don't like it. And let's drag this page up here. And see this little, you see that little pink line that runs down the center? If I move this right, it goes away. If I move it left, it goes away. That's how you know your page is centered. All right, so when I hit that and see that pink line, I know it's centered. Okay, so we're going to let go of that, and everything moved up nice. Okay, and then now we're going to I'm going to take this fragrance, I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy it. Okay, and then I'm going to change it. So I'm going to click on it, I'm going to go edit text, and I'm going to change this one to hand creams. Okay, and then that fixes, I'm going to change this to 30 like the other one. Oh, and you can slide it, or you can actually select it and type 30 in and just hit enter, so you can do it anyway. So our hand creams, I got to highlight it, are now going to be 30. There we go. Now, I don't really like the sliders. I like to actually, click it and just do it. 30. Done. Okay. So that looks nice. That's our hand creams. That's what that looks like. And you could certainly add graphics and, text and all that kinds of stuff. Again, that's kind of design elements and what your preferences are. We're just trying to make this look good. So I'm actually going to take that again and copy it because it'll be the right size. Now we have to add this graphic to the 2 pages that we added because they weren't in those original designs. So we're going to go to shampoo bars, and we're going to click on here, and we're going to pull this down a bit. I'm going to right click and go paste, and then I'm going to center the hand creams, and once that pink line comes, you know you're centered. I'm going to throw up just a bit, and then I'm going to change that text to say shampoo bars. Nope. Shampoo bars. Okay, now I have shampoo bars there, and then we have to change our last page, which I think was our soap pages. I think. Yep, this one here. So same thing now. Get this out of the way. I'm going to pull this down. We need to put in our soaps. So we'll center this. Okay. Edit text, and we're going to change this one to soaps. And there's our soaps page. Okay, so now we should see on all of our pages soaps, shampoo bars, lip balms, and hand creams. And I'll show you how to tighten that stuff up in a second. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So that looks good. Okay, so now we're cooking right along, and we're just going to do a quick preview. Actually, a quick save first. Every time we make a major change, you kind of want to save it. And then we're going to do a quick preview. And that's what the site's going to look like. All the information in there that we're coming along. And we haven't looked at mobile yet. We will look at that. Okay, so look at our shampoo bars. They're looking good. And look at our lip balms. Look at those. They're looking good. Got some spacing to tighten up, which we'll work on. Hand cream should be looking good. Yeah, so everything's looking good so far. And if you had more products, you also put sliders on here, right? Because that's how many rows or columns you put in. But we only have 2 products, so we don't have to worry about that. All right. And I said if you didn't want to worry about it, you'd only put 4 products in 4 column row or 4 columns, and if you had 16 products, you'd make 4 rows down by 4. All right, so I'm happy with that. So we're going to go back to our editor. All right, things are looking good. All right, so now I'm going to work on a little bit of cleanup on the actual pages themselves to take away some of the spacing. So I kind of like that spacing there. Looks great on the bottom, so the soap page is good. I'm going to go in the shampoo bars. Shampoo bar page looks good. And these are the 2 pages we made from scratch, right? They're easy. This one here we got to deal with a little bit. So we're going to pull that down to about there. And I just grabbed the line, pull it down. Then we're going to click on our gallery, and we're going to move that up and center it. Go just a little more. There we go. Okay, I like that. And at the bottom, same thing. We're going to take this, and we're going to pull it right up near the bottom. We don't want a whole bunch of white spacing in there, so I think, that looks good like that. Yep. And then we're going to do the same thing for our hand cream page. Hand creams aren't too bad. Pull that down just a bit. I think that looks good. Bottom's good. And let's check our shampoo bar page. That's pretty good. And our soaps page, and that's pretty good. Okay, so I think all of our pages look good. They're lined up nice and pretty. Okay, So there we go. So there's how you kind of put your collections together, add your products, deal with the settings of the pictures themselves and how they're displayed to your customers, and how you do some editing on your pages. And every single element, you simply click on it, and then you've got your choices to make changes. If you wanted to start adding graphics in, or scroll bars, or strips, remember on this add button up here on the top left, that's where you can do all those things. Okay, so if I wanted to say, add an image in, and a free illustration in, I'd click on that, and then I'd go simply pick something to add to the site. This is actually where they got those flowers from that I took out. So you got lots and lots of images, or you can upload your own images, and you simply click on an image and you go add to page, and it will put that image on the page. And I'll show you that just because we're here. Okay, see, so there's a pretty image. Don't really need that image, but you could. Then you've got all these editing choices. I'd put that in the background, and I could stretch that out to the size of the site, or put it behind everything. Lots and lots of choices. And again, I'm not going to go through all the design elements because it's something that you will want to go in. I just hit the delete key. Something that you will want to go in and play with. All right. So everything's looking fine. So we've dealt with our menu bar. We've dealt with adding products to our site, putting them in a collection, inside a gallery, and putting them actually into our actual website, and then dealing with some of the settings once they're in there. So I'm pretty happy with all that stuff. So what we're going to do next, and now that we've done our product pages, we're going to go to all of these other elements. We're not obviously Sophie's Natural Organic Body Care. We're your company. We don't want this stuff in here. We need to put our own Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest information in there. We got to put our own email addresses in. So we're going to deal with all that administration stuff now, okay? And we're going to start right at the home page, okay? And get our logo in and stuff like that. So that's where we're going to go now, okay? Okay, the next step in our journey is we're going to clean up our header and our footer. So we're going to start to make things look good, put all our information in. And of course, your header is at the very top here. Now, I have it set so you're going to see your header on every single page. I like that because then you have the menu on every page, and your customers can see all your basic, have access to their shopping cart, to their account, and of course to the menu bar. And then your footer is way down the bottom down here. So these two items we're going to make look real pretty and put our information in. So we'll start with a header. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and you have two separate text boxes here. I'm going to keep all the same fonts because we've gone with this template and they're standard throughout. And I'm just going to move this down for now because the name of the company is a little bigger than Sophie. So I'm going to select this Sophie box and go edit text. And I'm going to put my company's name in there, which is Lifegevity Soap Company. And you'll notice that stretched that down, so we just simply make our box a little bigger to fit it all in there nice and pretty. And I do want this highlighted a little bit with a little bit of a bold look to it, so I'm just going to simply select it all and bold that title up. Okay, and then that's a little better there. All right, so I like that, and then I'm going to move it a little to the right. I'm going to take this menu bar and reduce its size so it fits into its box a little better, and move it to the right. And these are just design elements, kind of making everything fit nice and pretty, and that's going to look good right about there. I'm going to move this over a little bit here, and I'm going to add my logo to this in front of this because I want to be able to have my customers see that in every page. And I want them to always have my logo visible. So I'm going to go add images, and I'm going to go to my images. And if you remember, I did upload my logo. So I'm going to put the one that I didn't take the background out here for this purpose. So I'm going to go add to page, and I'm going to drastically reduce the size of this down to a little wee logo that's going to sit right in front of my Lifegevity, just like that. Okay, so now every time a customer changes pages, they're going to see the logo, and they're going to see my company name, Lifegevity Soap Company. And then we're going to change the little tagline here. Going to move that up just underneath. And you want to try and keep this as tight as you can. And what I mean by that is, you kind of want to keep it in this range as far as size goes, because you don't want to take up too much real estate in the other pages, okay? So you don't want it looking, something like taking up this much space here, okay? So you want to try and keep that nice and small. All right, so I'm going to change the text here. I'm going to edit text, natural and organic skincare products. And that is what we are selling. So we're going to leave that like that. And then I'm going to open that up just a bit to fit that word in there. There we go. Okay. And then I'll just move that up just a snag and try and level it so it looks good. Okay. So that's good. So now that we've done that, I'm going to tighten this up a bit here and bring that header to a nice size. I'll make sure my text box fits what it does. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in the login bar, and this is your login bar here, which is kind of overlapping your cart right now. I don't want that to happen. I'm going to make that a little bigger. I'm going to move my menu bar over just a bit. Actually, I'm going to bring that down to about here. Same line as my natural skincare. And then I'm going to close this up just a bit. And then I'm going to click on Set Up Login Bar. And what I want is right now you have a profile pic. I like to have the name up there as well. So you can set profile member and their picture. So now I've got my name in there, or the name I've used to register. And I can go ahead and your customers will be able to actually put a profile picture in there when they go into their account page. So I think that looks great. I don't want a greeting before the name, and I think everything else looks good there. So I'm going to leave that like that and click over here. And I think that looks really nice. Now this is a little tight, so I can move this just up a bit. Just so it's not quite so close to my tagline and it's lined up with my logo. Now you notice when I click on that and hold the left mouse button, you see that pink line that goes underneath it? That shows you you're centered with your logo right there. That shows you that you're on the bottom of your logo right there. And I'm going to center it with the logo. So I'm going to choose that setting right there. And then I think I'm going to center this. And these are just, aesthetic things. So it's centered to my company name, and it's lined up in the bottom of the menu bar. All right. So I like that there, nice and tight. And I think that looks really good. I think I'll probably bring these down just a snag to line them up top and bottom. And I'm going to center this. Okay. So there you go. I would consider that that header bar done. So let's go down now and take a look at our footer bar. So down here, you're going to want to go into your social media links, and I'm not actually going to make this change because this is just a test site. You want to set social media links, okay? And you select, you can have whatever one you want on here. So you can go add icons, and if you have Instagram, you could add Instagram. If you have, Facebook, you can add Facebook, or Pinterest, or Snapchat, or TikTok, or any of them. You simply click the one you want. We'll put an Amazon one in here for fun. Add to gallery. And I've got an Amazon. So how you change these, and I will change Amazon. So you go to select it, and then the text, alt text, is Amazon. And I'll describe alt text in a little bit. We're going to go through and put alt text in all of our graphics and boxes. But that's basically if graphics don't work, or a computer doesn't support certain graphics, text will come up, okay? And it's also good for when people are hearing impaired, for example, and they have speech to text running on the computers, it will tell them what that actually is, okay? And then add a link. You're going to want to link that to, this is where, and we mentioned this before, you want to be able to make sure that they open up without going outside of your website. Okay, so you're going to want to open that up in a new window, and then they can click right back to your website on the window beside it. So what you would do here is you simply put your Amazon address in here that you want people to go to. You hit done, and you'd be finished. You'd have Amazon. Same with Twitter. You open this up, you'd put your Twitter address in here. Done. Facebook, Pinterest. Instagram, you simply type your information in there, done. And then when people click on that link in the bottom, it's going to take you to your page. All right, so that's done. This little box here, I'm going to put my own information in here. Edit the text. We're just going to go, about us is good. And then I'm going to change this here, the best. Little soap company in the universe and beyond. Wow, there we go. Perfect. Spelling mistake there. I'm going to dismiss that for now. All right, that's good. Little tagline. Join our mailing list. This is all pre-set up for you. That's going to open up a form that your customers fill out. It's all preset. You don't really have to make any changes with that. You can add new forms. You can change that form. You can edit in any way you want. And of course, here's all your, you can add elements. Anything here you want to add in. You can work on the layout. Change, show different fields. Change the, the size, the placeholders, any of that kind of stuff. And that's something you like. It's personal as well. It's whatever you want that to look like. I'm going to leave it just like it is. I'm happy with that. I'm going to tighten this up now. So I'll move this up here so it lines up with the bottom of our thank you over there and on our about box. And then I'm going to stretch this down a little bit. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so I'm going to say now my footer's done and my header's done. And you can add any elements that you want into the header or the footer, and graphics or design elements. And again, you can go ahead and play with all that and all this. This add button up here again on the left-hand side. This is where you find all of your tools that you want to use. So you can add in buttons, galleries, decorative boxes, and lists and videos and the whole thing. And it's all there. You just want to go ahead and play with that. So I think that's good for my footer. I think that's good for my header. We will do a quick preview just to make sure that we like it before we save it. So there we go. Nice tight header and nice tight footer, and everything looks good. I just will mention that once you actually publish this site and get your own domain, that box will go away there. That's just a temporary box on the view screen. So now we're going to go back to the editor, which is here, and then we're going to now make the adjustments to our main or our home page. You might hear some dogs woofing in the background. We do have 8 Maremma sheepdogs. Something's got them going out there, so just ignore them. They'll stop in a second. Okay, so let's work on our main page now. Okay, we're going to work on our main page now, and this is our home page. So first thing I'm going to do is put my logo in. I don't want any of this printing here, so I'm going to simply click on it and hit delete, because I'm going to put my logo in there that has my company information on it. I don't want a shop now button on there, and I don't want the line in there. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do is, because we made a transparent logo, you'll be able to see the flowers behind it, and I don't really want that. So we're going to click on this container box with the circle, and you can change your design in here. And when you hover over designs, you'll see certain different designs come up. You can certainly do that, although I do want my circle. So now I'm going to go into the actual design itself, and I'm going to customize it. Okay, so when I go customize design, it gives me fill and opacity. I want to change my background to white, so I'm going to click on this box here, turn it white, and that is done, and I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to import my logo, so I'll go over here to this plus box here, right, and we hit plus box, and we're going to add in an image, which is the third button down, and I'm going to add in an image that I uploaded. And on these logos here, this first one is the edited one with no background, so I'm going to select that with the left mouse button, and I'm add to page. You can't see it because it's behind me, but there's an add to page button down here on the right. I'm just going to add it to my page, and there it is. And now I'm going to line my logo up with my white circle that I have there, and I'm going to make that just a little smaller, actually just a little bigger, and try and line that up so it kind of looks iffy. Now I'm using the arrow keys in my keyboard to try and get that kind of centered. I'm going to make that image in the background try and make it disappear. And just a little bigger yet. Okay, and I'm good with that. So what we actually did there is now you'll notice that we have, you know, this white here in the background. Yeah, you would see flowers behind that if I didn't put that white box behind it. So that's all I did there. Okay, so now I have my logo in there. I'm real happy with that. Now we'll go to our next box, all natural and organic skin and hair care. I actually like that. And the read more is going to take you to an information page. So I'm going to leave that just how it is. Now in this button here, this box here, we're going to leave the box how it is because we're going to stick and stay with the design elements that this template gave us, but we are going to change this picture. So I'm going to click once on that. I'm going to go change image, and I'm going to change it to, we'll put a nice bar of soap in there. So we'll put our spearmint soap in there. And bottom right hand, again, it's behind me, choose image, and there we go. Now we have my bar of soap in there. Beautiful. And we're going to change the text, and we're going to go edit text, and we're going to try our great spearmint soap. Okay, I like that there. And we're going to leave stock up now. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to point this to our spearmint soap shopping page. So I'm going to click this once. And I'm going to go to the link here, which is the little green bar, which is right here. Okay, I'm going to click that, and I'm going to point that in the. Now I want to stay within the website, so I'm not going to put it in a new window, but we're going to simply flip to that page, and then we're going to select which page we want it to point to by this little box up here. Okay, so when I go here, I want this to go to my soaps. All right, and I'm going to put done. All right, so now when the customer clicks that button, it's going to take them right to the soap page. Okay, and down here, beauty boost, I'm going to change this graphic as well. So I'm going to go change, so I've left clicked on it. I'm going to go change image, and I'm going to put our product, little picture of our products in here. I'm going to choose that image, and that looks real nice there. And I'm going to make that just a little bigger. And treat yourself to the luxury of all of nature. I actually like that saying, so I'm going to leave that right there. And we're not going to have that point to a shop to button. Okay, and then I'll just tighten this box up a little bit to make it look good. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now we're really starting to look like Lifegevity Soap Company. All right, so now what we're going to do, I don't like this free shipping box right in the bottom, so I'm just going to tuck it up a bit, right there. And I'm going to change the all orders, which is here, which we've just highlighted. And we offer free shipping and orders over $75. So I'm going to edit that text and simply change this 25 to 75. So 75 bucks or more, you get free shipping. And I like that, just like that. So we've used the template that they gave us. We've put our information in. We fixed our header, our footer, and got our own stuff in there. All right, so I'm going to say the home page is done. Now, a couple more things we have to do. So we got a few more pages we have to go into and fix. So we have to go into our menus and pages, and we have to fix the about page, okay? Because the about page is about the brand, which is great. However, you know, they've got their picture in there. So we're going to click on that picture again, and we're going to change image. And you would have, you know, more varied product images, but I'm going to keep, you know, my current theme going. That's what I have. I'm going to make that just a little smaller so we see stuff in there. I'm going to center that. Remember, you're going to have that pink line come up, and that centers it. Okay, so I like that. And then ingredients, commitment, and you know, you'll put, you know, change or put your own blurb in there. I actually like that one. Why organic oils? I actually like that one too. So open that up just a bit, and I like it just how it is. So the about page I'm going to call done. And of course you can add, you know, boxes, your own text, scroll sliders, all kinds of stuff, and I'll show you about that in just in a second. All right, and then next we're going to go down to contact, All right. And our contact form, we have to make just a few changes here. So I want to put in, if I was changing this and it was a real site, I would put my name at mysite.com, which is basically going to be the email you attach to this site, and my telephone number. So I'd do the same thing. I'd go edit text, and I'd just change that information there. Okay, but for now I'm going to leave it the same because, as I said, this is just a dummy site. All right. I like all the in this form here. You can change this form. Excuse me. Going into the form settings, you can make changes. You can add new fields to it. So if you want more information in there or less information there, you just simply click on what you want and it'll pop that into the form for you. Okay. Now when somebody fills out this form, they're going to go to this email address right here. All right. And connect the data. I could connect that to a database, but we're not going to do that for this purpose. Okay. All right. And you will notice that we have our Twitter and our social media in here as well. And you'd have to go and also set those links to your social media. So anywhere you add it, you have to go ahead and set those links. So I'm happy with the contacts page. And you notice this one has a different graphic in, and you can change the background for these things. You just simply click anywhere in an open space. You go change background. And then, of course, you can choose any image you want, or you can upload your own images, which we already showed you how to do that, which would you just click image here, okay? All right, so now I think we've dealt with all of our pages, and let's just take a quick look. That's all done. Home screen's done. The about done. Is the contacts done. Okay, now I did say we were going to add in a new page just to show you how to do that. So how you do that is when you click on this menus and pages icon here and go down the very bottom, it says add a page. Okay, and we're going to add a fact page. I don't really see a default one here, so we're just going to create a blank page. And we're going to call it facts, frequently asked questions. All right, done. And it's as easy as that. Now we have a fact page. Now I'm going to move that up between the about and the contact. All right, and you'll notice that that didn't show up in our menu bar. That's because we made this bar smaller. So we're going to stretch this out just a bit and move this over just a bit. There we go. So now we have our new fact page on our menu bar. And if you want to add stuff to that fact page, of course, you will select the page, make it active, and then you can add anything into this page that you want to. You can, again, change the background, click in here, change background. You know, anything you want to put in there you can, again, or your own graphics. We're going to change it just for this purpose, make it a nice, pretty blue, rainbowy type thing. And then we're going to add a text box in. So go add text, and we're just going to make this heading 2, and we're going to make this say edit text, frequently asked questions. Okay, we're going to change that to our 30. And we're going to bold it, and we're going to center it. There we go. Okay, so that's good. So there's our facts. Actually, I might change the color of that. I'm not sure. I like the color so much, so we're going to change that to something more. Facts should be nice burgundy. There we go. Okay, so there's our facts. All right, and then we're going to add a second text box, or a second set of text. And it's just going to be paragraph text. And we're going to go edit that text. We're going to make that a bulleted list. All right. Here, I will answer all of your questions. Yes, our soap is the best ever. You will never find a better shampoo bar. Yes, we ship coast to coast. So there's just an example, all right? So then what we'll do is we'll take this here and we'll make that a little bigger. We'll put that at, I'll probably put that at 30 as well. Open this box up. So all our questions fit in there nice and neat. There we go. And click outside of that, and now we're going to move it so it's centered. And now we just added a whole new page called a FAQ page. And you can, of course, put anything in here you want. Maybe I'll take this FAQ and just underline it, make it look a little better. There we go. Beautiful. Frequently asked questions. So there's your frequently asked questions page, which you can find now in your menu bar right here. Okay. And your customers will be able to go into that page and see it. All right. Now I'm going to show you. So this site, in my opinion, is literally done as far as setting the site up goes. So we've got our home page done, all our shopping pages, an about page, our facts page, and a contacts page. All right. Our header's done, our footer's done. And I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so now, actually, I'm not sure I like this brown background. I don't really need to be changing stuff at this point in time, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to put a fill color at something a little softer to better match the site. I'm going to go with that one there. And then, I kind of like that, right? Okay, and then we're going to edit that text, and we're going to change that color. I don't really need to be doing this, but I figured I just want to do this since I'm here. Put that at dark burgundy, and then we're going to change this one as well. Edit text, and change the text color, and put that one at dark burgundy. And it just stands out a little more in the on that pastel color we chose. Okay, so I am super happy with that. So if you have been following along, you could be putting in your own information, of course, putting in your own products, your own taglines. This site is ready to publish once we do a bit of back office work, and that's how easy it is to make a website. All right, so we are going to go ahead now and do a bit of the back office work. So one thing we do want to do is we want to add some, when I go in here and I want to go at the settings of this site, okay, I want to add a link to this. So, anything that you can click on and select, you can add links to, you can add alt text to, you can manipulate. And what I want to do is I want to add a link to this to my website. Okay. So I want to go to a web address. All right. I want to open it in a new window. So I still have my website up and running. And I'm just going to put my web address in here, which is www.lifejevitysoaps.ca. Okay. Done. Now, when people click on that link, it will, on the actual logo, it will open this logo up and take them to my actual website of lifejevitysoaps.ca. So, I mean, you could be pointing that anywhere you want to. You could be pointing it to another page within the site. You could be pointing it to the home page. So if I wanted, this logo to go to the About page, for example, I just link it to that. So you can link anywhere you want, which is kind of cool. This picture, for example, you could link the actual picture to the soaps page as well. So in this one here, I want to put a page in the site. I want to open it up in the current window because I just want to change a window within the site, and I want that to point to soaps. Done. So now when they click on that, if they click on that soap picture, it will actually take them to the soap page, and I'll demonstrate that quickly with it. We're going to save all our work now. Done. And I'll just demonstrate that quickly. So now we're in our actual website, a preview of our website, right? And if I happen to click on this logo here, that's taking you to my actual website, which is lifejevitysoaps.ca, and that is my actual website. And you can go into soaps, for example, and natural soaps, and there you go. You can go actually buy some of my soaps, and this is an up and running live website. So that's, you can do stuff like that. This one here we set up to go to our soaps page. So when I click on that, there we are. We're at our soaps page. Okay, and that's absolutely perfect. All right, so you can do that with any graphic. I'm just going back to the editor now. So anything that you can click on, you could make it point somewhere itself. Okay, so this is going to the read more page. I could make this go to the read more page as well. All right, so there's nothing you can't do. It's pretty intuitive and it's great. Okay, so we're going to go now and deal with some of the back office stuff to actually work on our SEO, our search engine optimization. A few administrative tasks to take care of, and then we're going to publish our site. All right, so that's where we're going next. You can set I talked about SEO basics, and SEO basics are search engine optimization, and that's where when Google looks at your site, it does a number of things. First thing it does, it translates all your pages into text. So if you have any pictures on your page, you want to go ahead and do the alt text for those pictures so Google can recognize them. If it can't recognize a whole bunch of things on your page, it's not going to be happy and people are going to have trouble finding you. Okay, there's two ways to do the search engine optimization. You could do it in the settings tab for each and every page and go through it and go ahead and do that. Or you can go to advanced SEO on the right here as well in the settings tab and go ahead and do that. I can show you an easier way to do it though. Okay, we're going to do it through a dashboard, but you can do it page by page or edit page by page by going into the settings. Okay, and then this is your social share information. So if you want to share this page on your social media, you can go ahead and set the information for that to happen. All right, so just show you again. It doesn't matter what page we have: home, settings, and it brings up all of those options. All right. Okay, so that's kind of important that you do that. And the next thing we need to do is make sure alt text is in. Now, I don't have a lot of graphics on this page here, but basically you do the same thing. You want to click on the item you want to open up, and you want to go to settings, which is this little gear wheel. Okay, and if you look down here, I said we talked about a link, and clicking on that and it sends you somewhere else. But what you're going to find is that you need to set. It's fine here. There it is. Image text. Okay, so if you see this section down here, and all pictures will have that. That's an image text. Okay, so or an alt text, which you're going to set. Right. So when Google goes in here, it's going to look at that picture and say, how do I translate that for people that have vision impairment? Okay, so this is calling it logo round final. What you want to do is change that to say picture of company logo. So basically you want to spell out in text what that picture is. You can also set tooltips. Okay, so tooltips you can set for every single image, every single box, every single area in your website. And a tooltip basically means when your customer hovers over it, and you've seen this in websites you've used or other programs you've used, it'll come up with a tooltip saying, take this action, or this is what this is all about. So you can certainly add tooltips. All right, and I don't really have anything on here that I need a tooltip for, but you could set tooltips. Okay, so you want to go through your site and all of the graphics you have in your site. Here's our logo, for example. And go into settings and logo final round. I'd put company logo. Okay, and then that's good for that. So every graphic on your site, this one here, go into settings. What's this image? And it's gonna put the file name of what it is on there. So we want to put picture of spearmint soap. Okay, and then you hit your close, and that one's done. This one here, settings. Tell Google what this is. Picture of company products. All right, so that's the first step you want to take in getting your SEO ready. Okay, that's going to help Google a lot. We got a picture here, and we'll just call this one picture of a flower. Nope. Picture of a flower. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole site and every page. The idea is to say, look, you need to do this and you want to do this. Okay, so you want to go through and put an alt text on every single graphic or picture that you do have in your site. All right, and that's going to go a long way in helping Google. Okay, so that's I think we're pretty happy, as I said, with the site at this point in time. Now we're going to go to our dashboard, and if it's not open, and we happen to have it open up here, but if you don't have it open, once again, you're going to go to Settings, and you're going to go way down the bottom, and you're going to click on Dashboard, right? And that's going to open your dashboard up right here, and we're going to do some of our site cleanup now. So if you look at the center spot here, these are all cleanup items that they're telling us to take care of, right? And they'll tell you to do that. Yours might look a little different depending on how far you've gone and what you've done, but you will know that it's giving us a check mark already for add your first product, because we did go ahead and do that, right? And you'll notice at the very bottom of this page, you have get found on Google, all right? And this is where we're going to set up our SEO, search engine optimization, and then you don't have to go into each individual page. It'll bring it up, and you just go boom, 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 done, all right? Okay, so first thing now, again, this is just a dummy site to kind of help you, get up and running and to make your first website. But if this was a real site, we would go into this section here and set up payment methods, all right? And we're not going to do that because I'm not actually going to go set a payment method up. But basically, you simply hit this Get Paid button right here, and you follow all of the prompts. Kind of walks you through this, question and answer thing. You can select, if you have a PayPal account, you can attach that PayPal account with the button and get paid directly in your PayPal account. You can use the WIX payment, which they do now have. That's new. You just simply select that. You can use a third-party payment provider, like Square, and it'll walk you through that. So you want to set up your payment provider, okay? You absolutely want to go through and do that. Then you want to set up shipping regions. We'll just look at that quickly. Now, shipping regions, you can decide where you're going to sell. I only sell in Canada, so I would turn that one off, okay? And then I can add new regions. I could add fulfillment services, kind of like drop shipping, right? Or I can edit my shipping rules. So I click on Edit My Shipping Rules, and down here is where you set all of your rules for shipping. And you'll be different than me, and it's whatever you want. So right now I've got 13 provinces and territories, okay? So if I want to change that and say, look, I'm not going to sell into, Quebec, for example, I can hit the Edit button, and I can go in there and simply choose where I do or do not sell, okay? And if I click off, Alberta, anybody from the province of Alberta won't be able to come in and set up to get products shipped to them, okay? So that's kind of how that works. And then you can also add, select how shipping is calculated. So right now it's free shipping. You can apply a flat rate, apply a rate by weight, which I do. And we'll just go ahead and take a look at that. So for example, give it a name, and let's call it Shipping Template 1. Delivery time, we'll go 3, actually because we ship right across the country, gonna go 5 to 7 days. And then weight range, so you simply put in your weight range here, so 1 kilogram, 0 to 1 kilogram, and I could put 0 to 5 kilograms or 6 kilograms, or 0 to 1 to 3 kilograms is $0. So that means anything under, and that should be point. Okay. That's going to be 0 shipping, and everything over 3 kilograms and up, or you can set a rate in there, is going to be $20 flat rate. So I'm going to charge $20 flat rate. So that's then of course you can add a range, and you can break everything down by weight. So that's one way to do that. So you can calculate by rate. You can calculate it by flat rate, rate by different products that you have. So you can go ahead and do all that. Okay. You can offer free shipping to customers who buy over a certain amount. You can offer free shipping to customers that pick it up locally. Lots of options in here. So you go in here and you set your shipping templates, you save it, and then you're done on that one. Okay, I'm going to discard those changes because we're not actually doing that here. All right, so go back to our dashboard. We would have a check mark here on shipping regions. Now the next one is to publish your site. I'm going to actually get my Google set up before I publish it. You don't have to go on order here. And again, I strongly recommend on this. So we're going to go ahead and publish in a second here just to see what it looks like after we do Google. And then you are going to want to, before you publish your site, connect a domain. And that's where you actually go in and sign up for their, their package, the 25 to 30 bucks a month. That gives you everything you'll need to effectively run your site. It enables you to take payments, all that kind of stuff. Gives you the proper storage that you need, everything you need. But first, you want to go ahead and get found on Google. So, and I'm just going to show you how to do this. I'm not going to run through every single page, but basically, get started. So Wix has the best SEO. Yeah. Start now. What's your business or site name? And for my case, I'm going to put Lifegevity Soap Company Inc. Nope. Okay. Go next. Nope. I sell online only. Next. So you want to put keywords in here. So when customers go on to Google or Bing or any of the search engines, they'll type looking for natural soap, looking for all natural soap. So you want to add keywords that clearly describes for your business itself what you do. Okay, and they say add up to 3 keyword phrases. That clearly described. So we go all natural soap. Skincare products. Natural hand cream. Okay, so we put 3 in. That's good. That kind of describes all natural soaps, skincare products, natural hand cream. All right, so create SEO plan. And it's going through and attaching that basic information to each page. So set the homepage title for search results. Go for it. And all natural soap, because soap's my main product. So you can choose any one of these, or you can actually make another one. For this purpose, I'll just put all natural soap. All right. And we're going to copy that because we're going to have to put it in other places as well. Paste your title in what's the page title tag, title in search results sections. Okay. So we're going to go to the editor now. Okay, so now we're in SEO basics, and you're going to go ahead and if you look at each one of these areas, okay, so your site is now giving you kobesun.wixsite.com soap company /home. Again, that's that long drawn out web address. Once you do connect your own domain, that's going to go away. What's the URL slug? The last part of the URL for this page. I would wait. Home is fine. That's what you call it. What's the page title? Title tag home, my site. I'd want to change that to home, my site. Yeah, that's fine. You can leave it that way. What's the page meta description? That's fine. And then you want to go down here and put in your keywords. So we copied it. All right, all natural soap, Lifegevity Soap Company. So when people search those keywords, and most people won't put a hyphen in there, so I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, and ignore my what they're recommending. Okay, and then you're going to go and do your next page. So you go through page by page, do your SEO basics. You get that set up first, and each page you're going to indicate its soaps for the keywords on this page, shampoo bars for the keywords on this page, lip balm for the keywords on this page, hand cream on this page. You want to get the basics in. You want to be able to tell Google, what you're selling, what it is, anything you think somebody will type into a search engine to find your product. That's what you want to put in your tags, and then Google's going to help you go ahead and find that. Okay, so that's pretty easy and simple. I'm not going to go through every page and do it. You can go ahead and get that done, and that's real easy. And then you run through this checklist here, and you'll go through every section of these pages, and wherever you have a red, you have to make a change. Wherever it's green, once it becomes green, the SEO setup for the site is happy with that. So connect your site to customer domain. Obviously, you gotta do that to get that one green. Connect your site to Google Search Console. You go ahead and do that, and these are all just walkthrough steps. And you'll see here that on this first section, you've completed 3 out of 7 actions they're asking you to take, which is up here. And on your actual page setup, you go down a little bit. You've only completed 18 of 37 recommended actions, okay? And they will, if you click this little open here, it'll show you what all those actions are. And you want to go through and turn each of these green. And it's just basically typing information about your product, your site, period. That's all that is, all right? So you go through and do that, and then everybody will be happy. Now, so I'd get found on Google. You know what? And although we're not finished, it's given us a little check mark here saying, okay, you've gone through that step. You want to go through all your pages, though, and make sure all that's done, okay? So let's assume we've set up a payment method, assume we set up a shipping region. And next thing would be to connect a domain. So that's very easy. So you go get a domain and buy a new domain name. If you do happen to own a domain name already, you can transfer it into WIX, and you would do that through this button here. And then, say you had a domain name, that was you bought through GoDaddy, for example. You could go in and have that point to this website and use that name. But if you don't have that, and I'm assuming if you're new to this, you won't, you go buy a new domain. And what you do here is you search for the name you want. Okay, so I'm going to say I want Lifegevity Soaps. Oh. And it's going to come up and say, I'm sorry, Brian, that name's taken. And the way I know that is because I already own it. Okay, lifegevitysoaps.ca is not available at WIX. And then it gives you some alternatives, lifegevitysoaps.net, biz, online, and so forth. So what you can do one of two things. You can either change the name up here to something you like, or something close, or something new. And let's just assume I chose lifegevitysoaps.net. I'm going to type get it, and I'm not going to do this at this point in time, because what it'll do is, okay, this will cost you, $9 a year, for example. It's pretty cheap to have a domain. You go through, you make your purchase, and then WIX will then attach that domain to your site. So this site, instead of being that long drawn out Wix Kobeson.wix ... our site will simply be lifegevitysoaps.net or whatever you've chosen. Okay, so I'm going to stop at that, but that's how easy that is. Okay, so go back to domains, and we'll go to the dashboard. Okay, so now we're going to assume that you've got a domain, you've set up your SEO, your search engine optimization, you've set up your shipping regions, you've set up your payment methods. You've gone through and made your site, and then there's a few additional non-compulsory things you can do. And again, these are all very intuitive. So you simply keep scrolling down your main dashboard page, and it's going to say set up store taxes. So you click on that, and you basically, as I said, each province here has a different tax rate. I'd simply enter that for the provinces, and I'm good to go. And that's in that section here. So wherever you live, if you're going to be charging taxes within your site, you set that up there. You're going to go in and set up your abandoned cart recovery. And what that does is that gives you the option to send customers reminders if they put stuff in the cart, they go away and they forget about it, or aren't thinking about coming back. It'll send them a reminder. You can set that reminder up to come back today, or send them one today, or send them one in 3 days, and that it goes a long way to actually getting more business. Connect your site to Google, and you want to do that for sure. So Google will then have your SEO plan and an analysis of your site, and it'll help Google point people to your site. Okay. If you do want to have an email address that is within the website, you click this next box here. And these are all, follow the prompt actions. It'll say, okay, what do you want your email address to be? It's going to cost you this much, and boom, you go ahead and you make those purchases. Okay. You can import your contacts into the site here, and actually make them part of your mailing list. So if you do have a list of contacts already. And then there's a whole bunch of, I'll call it minor setup issues, which you would set up here. So you can, set up checkout information. You can customize your orders, emails that go out to your customers for orders. You can manage your store policies, all of that kind of stuff. So you can go ahead and do that. And again, these are all self-intuitive. They're just steps you want to take. And then, when you finished all that and said and done, go down to see all suggestions. And all you do is you just go through and keep checking the boxes off, and getting all this stuff done, right? And it's going to be specific to you, and you don't need instructions on how to do this stuff. It walks you through step by step by step by step, right? So that's real easy. So once you go through and do all that, you are ready to publish your site. Okay, and I wouldn't publish a site until you've done all of that stuff. And then, the last thing you do want to do before you publish is just make sure you understand, what this dashboard has in it and what you can do in it. All right, so you've got, the store products. That'll take you to your product page, which we've seen. With products or inventory, your collections, you have your store orders. So when people order from you, it'll come into this dashboard, and you'll click orders, and it'll open those orders up so you can fulfill them. It also will show you your abandoned carts and what customers have products in your carts, and you can actually just leave them on the email schedule or contact them directly. This is where your contacts will go. Your communications is your inbox, in your email, if you have set that up. If you haven't, you won't have anything here. CRM is where you can work on, sending out sales, emails. This product's on sale, and here's the code. For example, you keep track of customer workflows here. The only thing to do with your customers or your site members. Okay. You can always go in and work on your marketing and SEO for your actual social media sites, or for to do better with the Google. Again, you go through each one of these, and just see if you're happy with what's there, or you add your information in. Analytics will show you how many people are coming to your site, how many sales you've had, for the past day, week, month, year. You can get all your reports from here. It shows you any alerts, site speed, all that kind of stuff. Your finances shows you your payments and your payment options, and price quotes, invoices that you can send to customers. You can create recurring invoices. You can integrate with your financial programs outside of Wix. That's kind of cool. These different channels. Your settings, you see a little asterisk there, so it wants you to go through and finish some of the stuff off we were just talking about. You go through your apps if you want to add some extra apps to your site. I'd also do that before I publish, but you can also do it after. But I'd recommend being up and running completely before you actually get going. Your content manager is just to manage all the content within your site, and then there's developer tools. And we didn't get too deep into dev development. That wasn't the purpose for today, okay? And once you go through and do all these actions that it's asking you to do, which is basically just all back office setup, it's all intuitive, it's all, paint by numbers, just, click, 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 and give them the information they ask for. All these other boxes will go away, so you won't see, this up here anymore because you've added a payment method. You won't see this down here. Get upgrade because you're going to upgrade to, that 25 to 30. I think it's $28 here. It goes up and down, but it's in that $25 to $30 range, and you're going to have everything that you need to. All right. So last thing we're going to do before we actually publish is we're going to go through and check out every single page, make sure everything's up and running. We're going to assume we've taken all those other steps. So we're going to preview our site. I'm happy with everything. Okay, so we're going to preview the site. So again, you won't have this up here, right? This upgrade now page, all right? So you want to make sure your site looks good. It's nice and clean. The header and footer are nice and clean. Pictures are nice and clean. I'm happy with all that, right? So we're going to go to the soaps page. And there's our soaps. Everything looks good. Our header's staying up top. Our price is in. Let's add a soap to the cart. Actually, let's take a quick view. So when you hit quick view, it's going to come up, show the soap, view more details, the quantity you want. You can add, 2 to the cart, 3 to the cart, 4 to the cart, whatever you want. View more details. Okay, and it's if we had written I wrote best spearmint soap ever, you can have a whole bunch of information down here, how great it is, how to use it, why you want to use it, all that kind of stuff. All right. So we're going to add a soap to the cart. There's our cart. We have 1 spearmint soap in there. Okay, that's perfect. So we're not going to view the cart yet because we want to check everything else out. All right. Okay, we're going to go to our shampoo bars. They look good. Pictures look good. Everything's in there. One thing I did notice is I forgot to, oh no, there we go. You got to hover to get it. So there's your quick view. We're going to add a geranium shampoo bar, 2 of those to the cart. There they are. Wonderful. Okay. And then we're going to go to Shop Now and check out our lip balms. Make sure everything's working with the lip balms. There's our lemongrass and our sweet orange. And pictures look good. Everything's there. Let's add a lemongrass to the cart. There's our lemongrass lip balm going to our cart. And let's check out our hand creams. And hand creams. Okay. Page looks good. There's our hand creams. Prices in. Just as we set everything up. All right, I'm happy with that. So let's add to cart. Now I'm going to point something out that is, design error. Notice my is over to the left-hand side here. It's over the left-hand side, so I didn't center that. I didn't put my divider in, so I forgot to take that step. So when you look at my soaps, see how it's centered and my divider's in, and I have the $6. So I'm going to make that last change before I publish. I think everything else looked good. Lip balms. Oh, I forgot the lip balms as well. So, shampoo bars. And I'm not going to put you, I forgot the shampoo bars. All right, so I have to take that step. But I'm not going to put you through that. You know how to do that now. You just, click on your gallery. Actually, I'll do it. Okay, then you get your About page. There's about the brand, and pretending we wrote all that fancy print in there, so that looks good. Pretty happy with that. See that the fact page works. Okay, that worked out good. Everything looks pretty, and checked our content. Okay, so this is exactly as it would look like if it was on the web. Okay, so I got my account. I can go to my orders, my address, my wallet, my wish list, my account. And the customers will go in and set up their account. What's your name, and they'll put the name in and all that kind of stuff. So that's done on the customer side. My cart looks like it's working. I've got 5 products in there, so let's go to my cart. Okay, so there's my cart. It's got all my products. If you send your customers a promo code, they can add it in there. You can do that by email. Your customers can add a note to you in there, which is great. Subtotal $52. Shipping's free because we didn't actually go in and set a shipping information up. And then I simply hit checkout. And if I just set my taxes up, it would put taxes in here. And you go to checkout, put your payment information in, and you're good to go. So that's looking pretty good. Okay. All right. So I'm pretty happy with all that. All right. Okay. So let's go back to the editor. And I'm not going to make these changes, but I could have certainly, I could certainly do it, but I'm not going to. You know how to do that now. So if I go to lip balms, I click on my gallery, I go to my settings, and I go to my layout. This is where I would change that information. Okay, so I would simply product text alignment would be centered, gallery alignment would be centered, leave my scaling where it is. I like that. And then on my settings tab, I would put in name and price divider. Okay, and that would be good. So now that's going to be all fixed up. Okay, so I'd do that for each page, and that would be done. I will save that just for now. Okay, so the very last step we want to do, and we're done for now, is now that we're happy that our website looks really good for a computer, we do want to go through and check out our mobile site and make sure it looks just as good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Back to the home page. So now we're done for the computer. We're ready to publish. We've gotten our custom domain. We've done our Google. We've gone through all those steps they're asking us to go through, which is set our really paint by numbers. We've added any extra programs that we wanted to add in by going over to the apps store, which is down here. You might want a calendar app for something, so you can go through and add apps to your site. They'll go in automatically, create a page if it's a standalone thing, or add it to the site itself. So okay, we're good. So let's go ahead now and just make sure our mobile site's going to look as good as our desktop site, and this won't take very long for this because they do a pretty good job at duplicating the mobile site. Okay, so let's go check that out. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is look at our mobile site. Now, if you look up here, there's we talked about this when we started the video off. There's the desktop icon and then your mobile icon. Okay, so if you just simply click on the mobile icon while you're in the editor, it's going to bring up, and we can just skip this. It's going to walk us through basic stuff. So what that's going to do is it's going to show you that when they pull up your page, you're going to have your menu bar up here, and you can go ahead and edit anything in here that you want to. Okay, and I'm going to actually go ahead and do that because I don't like how this looks. But there's your main page that has now been translated to a mobile site. Okay, and then you can go into each and every page just like you can on your desktop site, and you can go into your soaps page, and that's what your soaps page will look like. Okay, so it's just basically converted everything to be visible on mobile. And it doesn't matter if they're on their phone or a tablet, it's going to shrink or make the size appropriate. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to fix here, and I said I could run through all this, but I'm not going to. I've always been happy with the way they've done the mobile. It looks good. You could go ahead and get rid of that graphic. You probably don't need that there. You just simply click on it, delete it, and you're done. So it looks pretty good. The only thing I'm going to do is change my header. So I go to my home page, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this icon, which is your menu, and take the cart and move those both down. And I'm going to take longevity and open this up so it fits better. Okay, so now I've got Longevity Soap Company in there. I'm going to move my logo down. So now the first thing they're going to see is Longevity Soap Company. And then I'm going to move my text up. And they're going to see my text, and I'll center that. And then I'm going to have my logo. I'll put that in a little bit. my cart. And I'll just try and center these off so they, they look kind of good. That's good. Center this one to that one. That's good. And now I can move this up and tighten up the size of that that header bar. So I said you don't want your header bar too big. I'm going to just move that up. You see it moves the whole site up. Okay, so that looks much better. Now you've got a nice little header bar on top. You've got your logo. You've noticed that the circle behind here has changed in size to, my logo. I could go ahead and tighten this circle down, or I could increase my logo. I'll tighten it down. I'll also increase it a bit. And move it to the right just a bit. Okay, so you don't have that white circle showing behind there now. So you can go through and make any of those changes you want, okay? But I think I'm pretty happy with that. So now that I'm happy with those changes, I'm just going to check and save it. Done. And then I'm going to preview the mobile site. And there we go. That looks pretty good. So I can scroll through here just like you would on a phone. And don't forget, a lot of people shop on the phone. I can go into my different menus here. I can go into my About page, for example. And there that is. I can go to my Shop Now and choose my shampoo bars. And there they are. I've still got my 5 items in my cart because I never closed it. So I can look at my cart. There it is. The items I have in my cart. I can increase the items. I can add a promo code or a coupon. I can add a note to the company. Yeah, so that all looks good. Got all my social media stuff in there. So if I did click on social media, that would take me to social media in a new tab. Said we don't want to leave we still want to see. And there's the WIX Facebook page. You'd have your own Facebook page set up in there. So back to my editor. So I think everything looks pretty good on that mobile site. Yeah, I think that looks good. I might center that just a little better here. You see I've got my shopping cart not quite centered. So I'm going to go back to the editor. I'm going to clean this up just a bit, move that over, try and get the same distance between these guys, and there we go. So that's centered. Okay, so I'm happy with the mobile site. I'll save it again. And that's as easy as it is to deal with mobile. And said you could do anything within the mobile site. You could have even designed your website in the mobile site, but it's much easier to do that on the computer. And then you get one thing it didn't do is it didn't convert my my darker print here. I could go change that, but again, it's not that important for this purpose. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the desktop site, and we're done. So we're going to take the very last step. And the very last step, again, save it for one last time. And then you're going to go publish now. How exciting is that? Okay, so we're going to publish our site. Actually, I'm going to leave that it is. Okay, so let's publish our site, see what happens. Congratulations, your site is published and live online. All right, beautiful. And again, you do want to go ahead and make your own brand, okay? So now we can go and actually view our site. We're actually going to the internet now, and you're only going to get rid of these ads once you upgrade your plan to actually I said the 25 to 30 bucks area. Then you won't have that advertising in there. You will have your own domain. So if you look at your website domain up here right now, this is what people are going to have to type in to find your site, rather than just Lifegevity soaps. So that's, you absolutely want to change that. I'm going to copy that just so we can prove that we're on the actual internet. Okay, and there's your site. So everything looks exactly as we made it. Everything's here. So you go down to your soaps, shampoo bars, lip balms, anyway, and hand creams. Excuse me. All right, beautiful. And about, I just want to test everything out, make sure it looks good. Fact sheet, yep, up and running. Our contacts, up and running. Okay, so I'm just going to close that off for now. I'm going to open a new page. I'm going to go paste our address in there. Okay, and I'm just going to hit enter. And there we go. So we are once again live. We're on the internet at kobesun.wixsite.com/soap company. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to go and check our dashboard out. Everything's fine. Our site's live. And you said you'll go through and take all these steps. Okay. All right, so we have a website up and running. Now, I'm going to take this site down again, so you won't be able to find it. I will show you my final site that I actually do run just as we close here. I certainly hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's been a long video, but it's been very comprehensive, and it should have given you every tool you need to get up and running with your own Wix website. If you did like it, I'd be so appreciative if you could join the channel. I do have many other tutorial videos on the channel, and our theme for our channel is to how to set up and run a successful home-based or small business. And there's lots of information that you can garner from making labels, how to make labels for your products, to how to make soap, for example, how to deal with making costing sheets. Lots of tools that will help you in your endeavors to get up and running. If there are any topics that you would like to see me cover, certainly put a comment down below, and I'll see what I can do to actually get some help out on that stuff that you're interested in. So it'd be very nice if you could subscribe. That helps me out a lot, and when you do subscribe, it helps more people find my content. So the more subscribers I have, the better that is for me and for people finding me. And when you like my videos, that also goes a long way. So Google has their own algorithms to figure out which channels they're going to put up the top and show people. But I do need you to like and subscribe for Google to kind of find me and send me up the top. Really appreciate that. And if you did hit that little bell, which is below the video, that'll give you a notification when I do make new videos. And I would appreciate that as well, because again, that helps me. And if you didn't like the video, maybe just don't do anything, because well, that would be bad if you hit that thumbs down thing. So please hit the like. So if anyway, that's it for today, and I'm really hoping that this was helpful to you. And just as I close here, I'm just going to scroll through a few of the pages on my actual site to see what an actual, true finished site up and running and live with all of the different components in it looks like. So thank you so much for your time, and enjoy your day. Okay, bye-bye.